realized he was deafened for a second there. 3, 2, 1, go. All right.
So right off the bat, you're going to see TLoZ skipping basically every cutscene in the game. These take time.
I'm TLoZ now?
Part. No, my bad, Horn, sorry. A big thing you'll see is Horn skipping every cutscene. And the first major thing you'll notice is rolling everywhere. It saves time over walking. Roll 4 times, though, and you dizzy, and that can add up really quick.
Yeah, so...
Also, we're going to go rob this old man of his sword now.
Pretty much. I mean, hey, it's not my fault he has a pretty lousy security system.
I mean, hey, it's probably better than what Protojet can do if we're being real here. And funnily enough, when you get the sword, will you be going for the sword escape glitch, where you skip training?
Oh shoot, I just realized I forgot to plug in my gamepad.
Uh-oh.
My gamepad just had the battery light turn off. It's okay, I won't need to lose any time to get it plugged in.
Alright. I had that happen once during a funny train game run. It was not fun.
I can find the cable.
I wonder how many palm trees could be on the beach. Wow.
It's definitely 7.
I thought it was 6.5, you know? One of the models was skewed. Very nice even split there, getting the sword exactly when she's been getting it normally. And now the old man is upset that we took his sword.
Actually, we have a glitch coming up right here. It's very simple. Oh, yeah. It's going to go by very quickly.
Yep.
Oh, basically, it's barrel.
It's offsetting to let Link skip sword training.
Yeah. So by pausing after after throwing the pot there, it sort of basically makes it think that you've already activated the text there, and then by picking up another one, it won't reset that. It won't activate the trigger again, and so you can just walk right through it. It's much nicer than the older method that we used to have for that a few years ago, where it was like a super precise roll that we had to do. It was not fun.
We have to do a super precise roll in the other Zelda DS game, Spirit Tracks, and even then it doesn't save nearly as much time as your guys' sword skip. Speaking of which, that half-hearted damage you took was pretty deliberate, wasn't it, for something coming up in Temple of the Ocean?
Actually, I didn't even realize I took damage, but yes, it is. I do need to take a little bit of damage for a death warp coming up pretty soon here.
The upcoming fun warp, as I like to call it. So you might notice that Horns does not need to push this block all the way. The block being in that position right there is actually just going to block the rat from going all the way, allowing it to turn up. Dang,
there we go.
Got the bad cycle.
Yeah, well, it's actually completely luck-based. There's nothing I could have done to make it any better. Oh, I got the heart there. I wasn't trying to get the heart, but it's okay. It's not a huge deal. I need to take at least 2 more hits right here. So there's 1.
And there's the other bat right down there.
There we go. I can also take 3 hits, but I don't need to.
3 hits makes it a little more dangerous. This death warp coming up, it's done in Temple of the Ocean King to save some time after you get the first sea chart, as it puts you all the way back out and saves you from walking. Death warping in Phantom Hourglass is very quick. However, I think this is the only time we use it in the entire room.
Hopefully.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Die somewhere else.
Come on, we're all expecting to get world record. No pressure.
Alright, so right here we're looking for Linebeck, who's one of the main characters in the game. Apparently, he went to this bar, but I guess he's not there. Don't worry, it's a milk bar. This game's rated E10 and up.
Exactly. Although, apparently, somehow, you can still get drunk off of milk.
Actually, wait, no.
Why? I don't know.
No, this game is rated E for everyone.
That's true.
I was thinking Majora's Mask, I think.
Wait a minute, though. We have a cannon. A cannon technically equals a weapon. Link has this. Wait a minute. Link has bombs and a sword, and he slaughters animals ruthlessly. This should be rated M for mature content. Anyway, here's Lineback coming up. He got himself trapped. How? We don't know. It just happened.
So there's no switches. If it sounds like I'm making a lot of sound, I realized my my Wii U charger thing isn't actually plugged in, so this is going to be a little interesting.
I mean, hey,
it's okay. I've still got a little bit of time.
You can skip a couple of jumps out on the boat. They only save 1 frame a pop.
I don't think I'm going to be able to last that long without having to
do it during the death warp?
I could do it, I think, right here.
Also, fun fact, I don't know if anybody noticed, but Link's
forgot about that text there.
shield sparkles disappeared for some odd reason the second he looked at Lineback. And funnily enough, Lineback doesn't have any on himself. I dare say Lineback may not be a good human like Link. There's a whole conspiracy going on here. Anyways, movement through here is pretty simple. You're looking to lose a set amount of health between both sections. Because ideally, you're going to grab the C chart on a quarter heart of health, or half a heart.
Yeah, so right here, normally, well, if I had taken an extra hit, I would just go through the middle there, through the safe points there. But because I needed to take a little bit extra, I didn't do that, so that I took 2 extra quarter hearts of damage.
Sapphires ask, how can you capture from the gamepad like that? It's relatively simple. Through capture card, you capture what the Wii U is putting out. And it's the exact same as what it's putting out on the gamepad.
Yeah, so the layout that I have on the Wii U right now is I actually have both screens set up on the same, like on both the gamepad and the TV screen, which is a layout that you can do.
Pretty good first chart split right there.
Fortunately, losing a little bit of minor time here and there just because I'm getting a little worried about this.
Well, hey, cord's plugged in now. We're all set. Rule of thumb, never unplug your gamepad charger. As you can see, already back outside the temple.
It's still not actually plugged in, don't worry too much.
And now, Lineback, being the kind, generous man he is, and all of his gratefulness for you rescuing him, he steals your C chart and runs away.
Oh, what a great human being.
Leaving Link and our little Navi ripoff, literally in the prototypes, use Navi sounds, are left to chase this man down. What will happen? Watch until the next episode.
The next episode is airing right now, don't worry.
Exactly, we just went through the intro, and it looks to be the old man who we stole a sword from stopped Lineback. How convenient. Must have tripped him or something. It's not as though there's a big invisible wall separating Lineback from the ship right now or anything. Nothing like that.
Of course not. Alright, right here we gotta scratch off this island here, because there's a hidden little ember crest there. Alright, gamepad's plugged in. Nice. We didn't lose the run to forgetting to plug my gamepad in.
Nice. And now something you'll see that is very consistent in all boat sections, we're going to jump. Why? Because every time you jump, you save 1 frame over normal movement. Also, shoutouts to Rare Masked Beetle being out on the ocean.
Yeah, so Masked Beetle actually only appears at certain times of the day. So during weekdays, if I remember correctly, it's 10 p.m. to 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. And then on weekends, I think it was like 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. or something like that.
Yeah, it's something around there.
Now, ironically enough, it's actually not between those times for me right now, but my Wii U gamepad is just... my Wii U just has different times. Now, I'm going to need to redraw this line because that was not a very good drawing. And if I don't redraw it, I'm going to run into the island, and that will lose me more time than redrawing the line right now.
Yeah. You see, for every route that the runner takes during Phantom Hourglass, you are typically looking to draw a semi-specific line. The better your line, the faster you'll get from point A to point B. Almost as though it'd be nice if there was tracks guiding you. That joke fell flat, I know. This jumping... Oh, get ready for it, Star. There's at least another 1,529 jumps in the run. And if somebody counts that accurately, I will... I'll give you a cookie. Also, these guys can seriously meme you. Shasta almost died to him in his world record. Tech tights are not nice.
I do want to mention... So, we said earlier that when you roll 4 times in quick succession, you get a dizzy. That doesn't always happen, though, necessarily.
True.
If you do that 4th roll into a cutscene trigger, or through, there's like 1 loading zone that it works on in the game,
you get
then
what's called
it
a
just
dizzy
resets.
cancel.
I mean, I guess we can call it a dizzy cancel, sure.
Sorry, that's what we refer to it as in Spirit Tracks. We have like 50 of them.
Oh, neat. I actually didn't realize you had a name for it in that game.
We named everything. Because we only have 2 glitches plus a few little small pieces of movement tech, you name everything you've got to make it more memorable. Anyways, coming up is a small enemy room where RNG can meme you a little bit, but not by a whole lot.
It doesn't cost too much time in the end. Ooh! Oh, I thought I got the double kill.
Yeah, that's what you were looking for. Double kill would have been perfect RNG right there.
That would have been saving just a little bit of time.
No pressure or anything. You're only 5 minutes behind Tass right now.
All right, so I just called out to Astrid. I don't know if you heard that.
Nice little blow of wind. Phantom Hourglass isn't checking for every word of the English alphabet. It's just checking if there's a loud sound or not.
This puzzle right here, we're supposed to look for the 3 torches that are all over the islands, but the locations are the same every single time, so I know where they are already.
Yep. Now then, imagine if there was RNG.
That would be annoying. But this is Astrid. This, she's, I guess, a fortune teller that is going to tell us... I don't remember what she tells us. She tells us that it's our destiny to save the world, I think.
She says something about clashing with, your shadow, or something about finding
Dark
the Keyblades,
something
or...
like that.
Something about getting on the... something about helping Fat Albert and the gang make some Keyblades out of trash can lids. Something about how this is the last Zelda game to have a hammer in it, and we'll see why in an hour and a half.
Yeah. Alright, but now that we've talked to Astrid, Astrid has given us permission to go to the Fire Temple, which is on here, on this island, which is the reason we're here in the first place.
Yeah, because we are here to find clues to the ghost ship. I don't know when little fairy people that have very annoying voices became clues to finding a ship made of ghosts that totally doesn't have 4 evil demon children on it, but hey, what do I know?
Oh, they're definitely very good children.
Mm-hmm. They even offer to... Well, actually, no, they don't offer to share candy with you. And that right there was unfortunately a Dizzy getting our friend Horn hit. For every Dizzy, I'll donate 50 cents at the end of the run. No, that doesn't mean start dizzying everywhere, because I've only got such a big bank account.
I unfortunately got a tiny bit unlucky there because a rock fell right in front of the door, which cost me a little bit of time, but only like a second.
And no matter what, you are guaranteed to take damage in here somewhere. This fire is very deadly.
This dungeon is actually one of the scariest dungeons in the entire run, because we have so little health and it's easy to take damage. Please attack.
And keys in this game, unlike most Zelda games, like to do a full half heart rather than a quarter. You can only start taking quarter hearts if you get the defense fairy upgrade.
Yeah, I think the only like base quarter heart damage is the is in the Temple of the Ocean King when you just are not on the safe spots.
And you're out of Phantom Hourglass time. Speaking of that, I've got a couple fun stories of running out of time in the Sand of Hours, but I'll save those for when we get to those scenarios. Shoutouts to the double spin right there. Isn't that about frame perfect, landing a second one there after hitting both switches?
I actually don't know, but
no time. It's just swag.
I always do. I always actually right there. It's more for safety than anything, because those 4 switches have a big tendency to not all activate at the same time. Oh, I missed that.
You see that pot right there was supposed to save us a little bit of time by making sure we didn't have to run around that area.
It's okay, though. I was able to get the heart, though, from it, which means I'm at a little bit of better health than I would be otherwise.
And being at health in the scariest dungeon of the game is important. Yeah. Being at health, I can English. Nice. Link just had to soften up the chest a little bit.
Alright, so we have our first item of the game, the boomerang. So, the way all of the items in this game work with the touch screen. And so with this boomerang, it's the most OP boomerang in all of Zelda, where you can just literally draw this really weird path for it to go on, and it will follow it exactly. Well, mostly exactly.
Yeah, sometimes it decides to get a little Monka W on you. Right here you will see, and we got it. What Hornlitz was doing there was looking for a specific pattern to hit both the skulls simultaneously to stun them. We'll see these skull enemies one more time way later in the game, but we should be able to mostly avoid them at that point. We won't need the boomerang for them anymore. This room is the scariest room in the entire dungeon.
This is, if I die in the dungeon, it generally happens in this room.
Fire bars, fire
I have
keys.
a lot of health, but yeah.
That's true. You could be on half a heart right now.
Yeah, going through this room on half a heart is the most terrifying thing you can do.
Personally, I would hear Megalovania playing in the background. Also, here's another key rat. There is a purely RNG trick that can be done to get this key earlier because the boomerang wasn't exactly programmed well in Phantom Hourglass. In the sense,
programmed just fine. It's just it
can go through walls and pick up items for you. You know, no biggie.
And you'll actually see that abused a little bit later on in the run.
Anyways, we're getting close to the end of the dungeon now. We've actually entered the last big room. Whose birthday is it? Do we got any birthdays in chat? Because we just blew out the candles for you.
It was my birthday like 10 days ago or so.
Nice, you got to blow out your own birthday candles super late. Anyways, that pattern's always predetermined. You want to be close to the door by the time Link gets the key. To be optimal, of course.
Yeah.
Also,
and
this is the one time
that is just down here and down to the bottom right of me.
Also, reverse door open. We get a nice view of Link's sword.
Alright, this fight is a little annoying.
Yeah, there's a lot of... This fight can be annoying just due to enemy movement patterns.
Okay.
And if you're not careful, you can take a ton of damage there.
I did that fight pretty well. Ideally, what you want is to hit that second yellow chew before it starts being electrified again. Oh, come on. So the other thing is that those skulls that are right there are actually not... Their positions aren't random, depending on how... Like, it may seem like they're random, but really it just depends on how fast you were able to do that fight, or I guess the entire floor beforehand. But by doing that first fight earlier... Yeah, it's actually a little weird because that, like, if you do the fight, like the fight behind the door there, really fast, they're actually in a bad position, but if you lose a little bit of time, they get to be in, like, they're, like, right in front of that, that fire bar, or that fire door that opened.
Yep. And now what you'll see Horns doing here is picking up the key and throwing it. Because this is a Zelda game where you can't just put the key in your inventory. No, Link has to pick it up. By throwing the key, it saves a lot of time over walking with it because Link is heavily slowed down. This won't be the only time we see this mechanic being used. We throw a lot of things in this game because it's faster than walking with them.
Yep.
Although apparently Link can carry all these items on him just fine. Anyways, this is the first boss.
So the way you do this boss is on the on the top screen, you can see each of these like spawns here has like a different number of horns, and you need to connect them in that order.
Shoutouts to Phantom Hourglass totally taking 100% advantage of the top screen. Anyways, what Horn is doing here is Blaz, when you've already done that first stun, there are a couple times more you can hit him before he breaks apart into his 3 little baby forms. Are those babies just 3 little demon children? Who knows? Also, you will see Horns going for spin attacks wherever they can to rack up damage faster, because a spin is way more damage than a slash. However, similar to a roll, very nice kill right there using the boomerang to stop the spin animation from fully playing. The sword spin will do more damage than a slash, but it also has the same consequence of rolling 4 times. Spin 4 times, you dizzy.
Yep. Although, weirdly enough, there are two separate spin counters, one for rolling and one for spin attacking. So you can roll 3 times and spin attack 3 times and you won't dizzy.
Yep. Also, very good split there, making back up almost 10 seconds. Very solid boss fight as well, despite the dizzies. You'll see Horn taking a specific path here to get back to Astrid's house, because now we're going to learn more about the spoopy ghost ship and how we need to get the other fairies.
Right here we're getting a power gem. That's a collectible for 100%. there are 20 of them in the game. There's also 20 courage ones and 20 wisdom ones, and they give certain power-ups. So the power gems give you extra power with your sword, but it's way out of the way to get 10 of them to power up your sword, and then to go to the island so that you upgrade it on, so it's really not worth it.
Even with an optimal route to bring those in, it would not save any time, because we already have methods for attacking bosses to do similar damage that we would with those. And even then, everything except the power gems suck. You get semi-useless sword beams from Delia.
From the courage ones.
And then for wisdom, you get upped defense.
Yeah, double defense.
Your shield becomes blue, and for the final one, you get quad defense. But even then,
yeah, it's way too slow. That's something that you would consider for 100%, though. Although I think 100% goes for the power ones instead.
Yeah, it's just
it speeds up some fights.
100% with the full flaming Phantom Sword. They kill Bellum in I think they kill Phantom Bellum in 2 minutes. Time to sail. I mean, jump across the sea. You're not wrong, Fasty the one.
Hey, can I quickly jump in just
Absolutely.
before I hand it off to somebody else for donation reading, and quickly say we are on track for an upcoming incentive, which would be all cutscenes for Zelda: The Wand of Gamelon. Now,
you want to see that?
Oh,
yeah. So, yeah, it's the best thing about Wand of Gamelon, so you definitely want to make sure that's met. It's $50 out of 500, so we're still some ways away, but it would be really cool to get it. Wand of Gamelon is the second next run after The Legend of Zelda, coming right up after Phantom Hourglass, so in around 4 hours, that's when we have Wand of Gamelon. So if you want to get that met, make sure to get your donations in, because it's really, really worth it. Just quick one donation in before I head out. Thank you so much, so much to IT&T Piston for your $100.
Woo!
And thank you so much as well to Truly Nan for $10, saying ZSR equals feels okay, man. Indeed, it does.
So I guess you saying Wand of Gamelon reminded me of a very sad story I need to tell. My first ever Zelda was The Faces of Evil.
Hey, that's a pretty exciting story, if you ask me. Nobody has that story.
My biological mom thought she'd gotten me a PS1. But anyways, I'll talk about that later when we're on the boat. For now, we're back in the Temple of the Ocean King, and as you'll see on the top left of the bottom screen, we now have a timer. And these big, scary guys are called Phantoms. They're not a threat, though, until after Ghost Ship. The fairies here are like, oh, just avoid the Phantoms, use the safe zones, and you won't lose your Sand of Hours.
Funny enough, they tell you to avoid the Phantoms, but that's the exact opposite of what we're going to do on this floor.
We're going to get up close and personal with the Phantoms. We're going to take them on a date. We're going to ask them what their favorite movie is. We're going to go
they're going to whack us with their
ride.
sword because they spotted us.
Yep. Getting hit with a... We do actually get hit coming up. It's called a...
Yeah.
We call it hit warps in Spirit Tracks. I don't know what you guys call them. But getting hit by Phantoms in certain areas... It'll save you time over running all the way back around.
Yeah, so right there, I'm going to aggro that guy so that he starts following me. I'm going to hit this switch, and then by the time I come back around, he'll see me again, and he'll start following me. And if I do this, ideally... It's okay. It doesn't lose a huge amount of time.
Yeah, it's only about 10 seconds to get back there.
I was trying to juke out that guy and, avoid getting hit there, but it's okay. I can just do this.
As you saw... Oh!
Excuse me.
That hit shouldn't have happened. Phantoms have big, clunky hitboxes, and every time you get hit, you'll notice you lose a huge portion of your Sand of Hours.
There we go. That juked out that guy. Yeah. So what we actually want to have happen is that once we want to get hit after we get the key, because what that does is it just warps us right back to the middle of the room, and then we can go straight to the door over here, and it just saves a little bit of backtracking time. Yeah. I'm a little worried about
time lost because it makes you lose Sand of Hours. Exactly.
Yeah, now the other thing is we have a big timer here, And it's supposed to be, this big scary timer that, is making us go quick, but we're so fast that the timer is never an issue.
Exactly. The Phantom is meant to scare you, but the Phantom can't even follow you past this fire trap. And now here coming up is the first boomerang abuse thing we mentioned back in Fire Temple. There's going to be a few instances throughout the game where we can wrap the boomerang in such a way that it'll clip through a wall and grab a key for us. And now coming up is the notorious
basically what
Force
happens. What happens with the boomerang clips is just the boomerang when it's returning to Link doesn't really have a hitbox, like it doesn't collide with walls, but it does still retain its ability to grab items. So by doing that, we can just kind of abuse that mechanic and grab the key through the wall.
Yep. Also, you'll see Force Gems have the same property as the big key, funnily enough. Link can chuck them real far, but he can't walk with them. Worth a crap. And now you'll see that Horn is not immediately taking the first one and chucking it in, because they are now on a race to that Phantom going towards the right middle of the room to knock it down into a hole. After which they'll be getting the other 2 Force Gems to bring all 3 of them up to the big pedestal.
Right there, I just did a little stab off of the wall. That actually just saves a tiny bit of time, like skipping out on the jumping animation. You'll be seeing me use it in a few different places, and actually if you do it in the correct way, you can actually get a huge amount of speed, leaving a ledge.
Fly off a wall.
Yeah. So you'll be seeing me use that in various places around the run.
Also, shoutouts to all these little skeletons on the floor. We've seen them a few times, and they typically have helpful advice. Although they are people who died, so make of that what you will.
It is kind of interesting that there's one on, I forget which floor it is, basement 8, I think, that tells you that this person was using the Phantom Hourglass itself, which I find kind of interesting that not only Link was allowed to use the Phantom Hourglass.
But somebody else was. It couldn't have been Oshus. There's no way. At least that's my working theory. Anyways, as you see, it's a very long animation to put in all 3 little Force Gems, so that's why Horn waits to do it all at once. It's better than just taking each one individually. And coming up, we'll be getting our second C chart. Which one is it? North... West?
It's, the Northwest C chart.
Ooh, I'm not dumb. They can tell you what not to do, at least. Oh, that is true, Gamer David. So true. I mean, there is one that, by technicality, if it's your first time playing the game, will literally tell you how to keep going in the temple. It was Oshus' friend. Oh.
Actually, that's... You're required to actually talk to that guy to even know how to get through the rest of the dungeon.
Yeah, and I've got a story for that when we get to it.
I'm a little worried about my health.
Oh, with what's coming up on Molita?
Yeah, Molita is a very easy place to die as well. That's probably the second scariest part of the run. Yeah.
Now, you gotta slash that Kuko 5 times. That's the scariest part of the run. Anyway, so lying back in all of his sailor intuition, doesn't know how to get dust off a map himself, so he makes a child do it.
Optimally, you can do that in one blow. It's, you gotta breathe in real deep there.
Yeah. And even if you do, sometimes the game's microphone, the way it handles it, won't always fully pick up on everything.
So before we actually head up to that new C chart area, we have a few things we need to do because we can't actually get there just yet.
Nope. If you try to go directly north, a cyclone will pick you up and spit you out. Yeah,
so unfortunately we have to go through, if you see on that big line of rocks there on the map there's that little area, a little gap there. There are a bunch of rocks blocking that we can blow up, but we need to get the cannon for that, so that's what I'm off to get now, at the appropriately named Cannon Island.
I wonder which Nintendo employee came up with that, and I hope they got a big bonus. We do have a small trick here at the end of Cannon Island to skip making a signature with Mr. Postman here.
Actually, I'm not going to be using that until my next time coming here.
Alright. You just want to knock out the signature now?
Oh no, we just aren't going to have an instance of, like, running in front of the post box until later.
Oh.
But here, I'm a little bit worried because this is another really easy place to die.
We have enemies coming up and rats that surround bombs. Also, I call dibs on naming the signature. We're putting egg on that bad boy.
I'm playing this rather risky.
Bombs will do a full heart of damage. Also, getting that spin there is really nice.
Actually, oddly enough, bombs can do either a half heart or a whole heart. It depends how close to the center of the bomb you are.
Huh. Guess they changed that in Spirit Tracks then. You always get a full heart dealt to you. Dang it.
Right, killing those two for safety. You don't have to kill those two rats.
Cannon. If you take one hit, that could really put you in a dangerous spot.
Right, this
is another super scary spot. You see all these rats and all these bombs? Oh.
You know what? I'm not even mad. That's I will take that.
Throw one at the red shoe just to be safe.
No, I don't need to do that. Can't play it too safe.
That's true.
So
after all, we all want to see gambling.
I absolutely have to roll into that tree from the top there. If you roll into it from the bottom, the big red rupee that drops out of it will actually fall right into the ocean, and that costs you the run right there because there's no fast way of getting enough rupees to buy the cannon without that.
Also, wait a minute. The tree got the rupees, not Link. Wait, did Link rob the tree of its wallet? Are you kidding me? Come on, kid. I get you ran a sword through Ganon, but that doesn't mean you can commit all crime everywhere.
Alright.
Boy.
Fortunately, did not die on Cannon Island. Now we just have to worry about Melita Island. I will be trying to grab some safety hearts, though.
And luckily, yes, there's a guy with a very big patch of grass sitting outside of his house. Also, you will see Horn taking a little bit of time to draw the line. You might be like, why is I can't English today, I'm sorry. Why aren't they just immediately zooming the line across the screen? The short answer is to make that better line that I explained earlier. The better your line, the less time spent out at sea.
Yeah, you want to spend the time to draw a bit more accurate of a line. But also, actually, I mean, I didn't meet it there, but actually there is a speed cap on the feather pen there. So, like, if you try drawing it too fast, it'll actually lag behind. So it makes it a little bit tough to deal with sometimes if you're trying to draw too fast. But also, it's better to draw a little bit slower.
Nyan Sword in chat says if you hit it from the wrong angle from the top, it drops in the water too. That's happened to me on almost every single playthrough of the game I've done casually. I'll just go to roll into the tree to get the money and I'll lose it. My money.
I've definitely lost runs to that before, but not since I've been consistently running into it from like the top right kind of area.
Yeah. And here's the ghost ship. Apparently,
Lineback
is
found
like...
It took so long. It took an entire half hour.
Oh man. Tetra, we're coming.
But this thing doesn't actually have a hitbox. You can see that thing just kind of went right through it, the cannonball.
I mean, it is a ghost ship. At least it's got the Halloween costume part now. Or it could have been the devs trying to save time while making the hitbox now rather than later. Because the possessed ghost ship is an entirely different model in of itself. And also you might be wondering, wait, why are we not going straight after the ghost ship? Why aren't we following it all the way to the end? It's faster to try and go out here than following the ghost ship in a straight line. It'll warp us back sooner.
If you follow the ghost ship to the straight line, it kind of waits until you get up to the top area past the rocks there before it warps you back. But if we try going this way, we'll hit it like right as we pass this little line of rocks here.
Yep, because the game is like, wait a minute. Not only are they not in the right sequence yet, but they didn't take the specified route.
Well, I think it's more just this area right here is the area we're allowed to be in, and it ends right there.
True.
So
and as you see, the fog isn't weird gray anymore, it's white gray. So now we have to go to Melita, and that place is dangerous. We're gonna get a shovel. And somehow getting a shovel immediately gives our boat the power to pass through.
That is a sleek line I just drew. That was pretty nice.
Alright, why'd you turn your TAS on?
Well, and that's kind of what I was talking about, how the feather pen has a speed cap. So basically what I did is I just grabbed the feather pen and then drew the line down really fast so that it couldn't keep up, and that's how it drew a perfectly straight line there.
I still believe you used TAS, but you know what? For the marathon, I'm kidding.
I'm not allowed to talk about my cyborg implementation on my hand.
Whoa.
No, I'm kidding.
Whoa there. So the shovel is... Well, I mean...
Real quick,
it's an item.
I have to say no here. If I say yes here, we ship out right away and it loses a bunch of time.
That's true, because then you have to redock.
Yep.
As you can see, we're on half a heart, and we're hoping to change that very quickly. Also, can we get a boing in chat for our boat jump?
Alright, so here we're going to talk to this guy with daddy issues.
Yup, that's what I was going to say. And then he's going to be like, wait a minute, this kid might find my dad. Come back here. I will tell you how to get a shovel.
Yeah, so
and
basically
this
actually starts an interesting plot line in this story where, like, that guy's dad actually is sort of like, he's going, like, down the path that we're going. He just did it kind of first, to an extent. We do eventually... Oops.
Uh-oh.
No,
oh, no.
Okay. But yeah, we sort of follow him along his path. We do eventually meet him, although not in any percent, because going to that island that he's on is just a waste of time.
Quick kill. Yeah. Although this man's dad didn't drive a sword through Ganon's head.
Oops.
He just wants mermaids. Oof.
I am actually at kind of low rupees right now, so I'm gonna grab a safety rupee in the shovel room right away here. Right after grabbing the shovel here. You see there's that little spot on the ground. Yeah, it's got a nice 100 rupees in it, so I'm just gonna grab that.
Do you think it's bad robbing this guy? Or how we can just rob Anuki, all the Anuki on Anuki Village Island for several hundred rupees?
I don't know, this guy that we just stole that 100 rupees from, he kind of left his family here and he went to a different island, so I think it's fair game. But
we're just outright robbing the Anuki from under their noses.
Normally in this run, what you're supposed to do, in this game, is after you get the shovel, you're supposed to do some puzzles to find that guy's dad's true hideout, because you only found like his secondary or fake hideout or whatever.
And the true hideout.
To do a puzzle to find where it is, which we will be going there later. And when you go there, you are able to find the path that gets you through the little, where I'm going to right now, like the little rock maze where we were chasing the fog.
It gets you through the cursed fog.
Because yeah, it kind of functions similar to how like the Lost Woods would. So if you go the wrong way, you just get warped back to the beginning. But fortunately, the path is always the same, so I know exactly what it is.
And the path has quite a bit of leniency, actually.
It does, yeah, it's really nice.
Because if Nintendo expected you to draw an exact route, I don't think anybody would have made it past the first hour of gameplay.
Yeah, I think it's more just you need to pass through certain, like, checkpoints.
Regions. Almost like Mario Kart.
Kinda, yeah.
So the shovel, it's useful for this island coming up, then some parts of the final visits to the Temple of the Ocean King, and that's it.
We do use it a couple other places for a couple required places, mostly just to open up, like, wind paths that are wind things that raise you up places. But yeah, the bulk of it is going to be seen right away here.
Yo, we got some boing boings in chat, let's go!
So, the annoying thing about this specific path that we have to draw is that there are so many, like, turns that we have to make, and it is so easy to, like, if you do too hard of a turn, like right here, I think, yeah, Link has to, like, slow down and actually turn the boat, and then start speeding up.
Lineback was turning the boat. He's the one in the engine room. Link's just standing there.
I think Link's technically supposed to be at the wheel. I don't know. But yeah, you lose time if you slow down because, well, I mean, I just said it, you slow down.
Yeah. Who's to say it's not Lineback truly doing all the work? Maybe he's got a pair of goggles on before he needs to use the cannon, and Link's just standing there all cool. Because Nintendo wanted to flex 3D models on the DS.
We went through this when we got to Isle of Ember. Link's the one that drew the feather pen icon thing, or like drew the path with the feather pen, so clearly he did all of the work.
Oh yeah, true. Lineback's just sipping on a cup of noodles below deck.
Well, he's
eating.
trying to. He's at least trying to, but with all of the jumping that we've been doing with our boat, he's got water all over him now.
True.
Noodles everywhere.
I'm amazed that he wants his ship back at the end of the game. I mean, there's probably so many holes in that thing, like, he probably cheaps out on it. I mean, the merchant guide that we unlocked that we never use in 90% is literally like, this isn't worth money. Get this out of my face or I will call the police.
That's true.
Why are you bouncing? Boats can't jump IRL. Are you sure about that, Nyan?
When was the last time you were on a boat?
When I was tubing. I will not forget how I smacked over the other two guys and went flopping like a fish across the ocean.
Look at these whirlwinds over here. We're going to become very intimate with those in about an hour and a half.
Those whirlwinds help us displace our position and commit several glitches.
One major glitch that we'll get into when we get there. Just a little foreshadowing for later in the run.
A glitch that we can't even properly explain. It just works.
Alright, so now we're on Isle of Wind. Now, if I do everything right, Isle of Wind, like, you see there are these, like, gusts that happen? Okay.
Just barely. You want to stay on the same cycle.
Yeah, they're on a global cycle in this room, or in this whole thing, but, I think it actually resets right about here.
Yeah, it should.
Well, I guess we're leaving the room right away, so the wind cycle will reset right away here, but yeah.
Something to take note of, I think actually the way bigger islands, even when there's not a load zone, some of them are just broken up into smaller rooms. Because when certain things are off screen, they do get unloaded, and we actually do abuse that later in the run a bit.
We will. Alright. Oops. That guy was not in a nice position.
No, he was not.
We've got a little bit of a text skip here. If we jump off this ledge here straight, well, like that, Sela will talk to us, but if you jump off at an angle, you can actually land on that bridge, or not bridge, fence, and skip the text. But it only saves like a second or two.
Nyan, I'll give my best explanation for it coming up, because
what did I just do that for?
Spear Track stuff has taught me a lot about trying to think about technical things. Anyways, you'll see us blocking up these wind holes because, well, they're kind of in our way. And if Link jumps into them, he's just going to get thrown into the ocean. And now
Worst
here they
enemies
come.
in the game.
Earthworm Jim's cousins. These guys will pick you up, eat you, and spit you out like some nasty apple seeds if they get a hold of you. Anywho, there's 3 specific propellers we have to spin here to open up the path to the temple. They're always the exact same, don't worry. Nintendo couldn't be bothered making an RNG element here for different playthroughs being more unique.
I'm really glad that they didn't. It makes this game so much better to run.
There's nothing that shows more of a lack of faith in your game than using the exact same dungeon theme 14 times.
Yeah, we're about to get into the second dungeon here.
They use
the Wind Temple.
Yep.
Or Temple of Wind, pardon me.
They use the temple. They use the same temple theme like 14 times.
It is a little sad that they don't have multiple dungeon themes, but it's alright. We got a really good final boss theme.
That is true.
Right
Who
there,
thought this was a good mechanic? You know what? Nintendo thought they had to put the microphone into everything. You ever play Spirit Tracks? You ever play Wario Weird Touched? Ooh, wow, right. Foreshadowing of the mechanics. Ooh. Oh, nice, you made the cycle.
Ooh, that was close.
Almost. Those things will blow you off if you're not careful. Any little enemy room coming up. Nice! Hornlitz looking to get a specific boomerang angle. How many times is the overworld theme used, though? I gotta count this real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22 times. The mic became an issue while I was riding the bus. It just constantly picks up the bus sounds. Why were you playing your DS on the bus? SMH my head, come on. Horn could have gotten something really small there.
I have the opposite experience where growing up as a kid playing this, I was being a naughty little kid and I was playing this at night when I was supposed to be sleeping, and so I wasn't allowed to make noise.
Uh-oh.
And so it was, yeah, I remember I ended up having to pay like 1,600 rupees for the salvage arm when I was doing that part. I think that's the highest that will, or maybe it was 1,200.
I would just always scream at the man.
I wasn't allowed to. But anyways.
Also, sorry if I've been cutting you off or anything. I just got a DM from some friends who were watching, like, let Horns talk, bro. So I'm sorry if I've been getting too uppity. Anyways,
right here we have to dig up 4 specific patches. And I'm taking a very interesting route through here, but it's all so that I can manipulate these slug things, whatever they are, to
Earthworm Jim's cousins.
Earthworm Jim, yeah, to miss me the entire time. And
you play new
ones
Super
I have
Mario
to pick up are always the same.
Yeah,
that's kind of a trend you'll see with all of the puzzles in this game, is that they always have the exact same solution across every playthrough, which is really nice. Well, at least
I think there's only one instance in Phantom Hourglass, and it's only for 100% where it's not the same. And there's like 2 for Spirit Tracks where it's specifically for 100% where it's not the same.
Alright.
Lamp oil? Rope? Bombs? You want it? It's yours, my friend. So long as you have enough rubies.
My boy Morshu.
I can do such a good Morshu impression. I was just saying it right there. Anywho, we're putting that little thing into position, and that's going to get us a key we need to get our bombs. You want it? They're yours, my friend. So long as you get to them in under 48 minutes.
You really just need a small key to get them. I don't know what Morshu was talking about.
Morshu's just glad to finally have escaped Faces of Evil. I unironically had a nightmare about him after I got to that part in Faces of Evil when I was a kid. I have so many traumatizing stories to tell of that.
Alright, so now that we got bombs... Oh, come on. I was trying to roll under that guy. Yeah, that's what those enemies look like. I don't think we've seen them yet. Oh,
Pixels.
I didn't expect to get dizzy there.
I think I'm up to about $3 worth of donations to charity off of Dizzy's Net.
I don't remember. I haven't been counting them.
I can count the VOD up. Anyways, here you'll see Horn, right before this, they threw a bomb early to let it detonate so they could go ahead and pick up more bombs, because you're looking to have a specific amount of them as we run through the dungeon.
The boss of this dungeon, we actually are going to be using 10 bombs on it. Or no, 12. If I'm not mistaken.
It is 12, and it kills it way
12.
faster than trying to slash it. Those enemies suck. Earthworm Jim's cousins, they do. Yeah, we do need a lot of bombs.
Right there, by hitting... normally you're supposed to use bombs to hit those switches, but by doing it what I just did, it actually skips the Sela text.
Let's see if you get that perfect bomb throw right up here. Ooh. Ooh, yeah, let's go. That's awesome. That's time save right there.
That was good.
That was snazzy. What they were doing right there was by throwing that bomb, it saves time over getting it ready when you're right by the windpipes. 12 if you're good / get good RNG. This is a marathon. We can never count on good RNG, alright?
Well, speaking of RNG, we have the next boss coming up. There's not a ton of RNG in this boss, but if we get enough bad luck, it can be a little annoying. We'll see. We'll see what happens here.
This is Cyclone, and he's actually one of my favorites. Your goal is to use his own cyclones against him and bomb him to death.
Yeah, we got one attack there.
Ooh, good start.
So it's fastest to use bombs here to damage Cyclone. Yeah, it just does a ton of damage.
Bombs do as much as a little more than a spin attack, actually.
All right, nice.
That and you get a bunch of bomb restocks in this room, and that's the boss dead in 13 bombs.
Yeah.
No, actually 11.
I think that was 12. That was 12 bombs.
Still really solid boss, and now we have our second spirit in under 50 minutes. Not bad. I typically usually split on a boss death. That's what we all do for the ST community. Me no like blue warps. Wait, we gotta turn this into a hero mode. Don't pick up that heart container.
No, actually, so you might think that, picking up the heart containers just loses extra time, but we actually want health right now, because the next dungeon is another very scary part of the run.
Oh, yeah.
It's really easy to die there as well.
Would you like to see an enemy that can hit Link despite having invincibility frames? Or ones that just bump him like halfway across the screen?
Yeah, it's actually, this part is so, the next part of the run is so volatile that I'm actually going to be picking up a safety potion in Temple of the Ocean King later.
Yep.
It's just in case I need to use it, because, dying in that dungeon loses minutes.
What kind of marathon is this? I don't know. Game overs? Bad RNG? Run crashes? You want it? It's yours, my friend.
I hope
so long as you're running at ZSR.
So now that we're done that, we are actually going to be heading to this little island right here. It's not actually on the map. It's a hidden island, which there are a few of these kind of drawn, or they're hidden kind of around the map.
Yep.
And this one specifically has a very useful tool for us. It's called the Cyclone Slate, and it's the fast travel system in this game.
Yep.
So around, you might have seen it earlier, there's a frog a golden frog that will jump out of the water in certain places. And if you hit that, you unlock the warp point. And then by using the Cyclone Slate that we're about to get, you can warp all around the map.
And Nintendo favored some positions more than others.
There are 6 points in total. We're gonna be getting 4 of them.
Yeah. 2 of them are just completely redundant. Also, let's call them Golden Kermits, alright? We're about to meet Big Kermit in the cave.
Good point.
There is a specific order you need to hit these in, and it's actually a very clever riddle. Normally, you're expected to map out this island using the top screen, and you'll end up drawing a whale, totally not a reference to the Ocean King or anything.
Yeah, I remember my first time doing this. I drew this very meticulous map of this island, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool! It's a whale."
I just ended up guessing, and then I halfway through, I just used a YouTube walkthrough, and my guesses didn't work. And I never ended up using the Cyclone Slate because I just liked going around and using the salvage arm everywhere.
See, when I played this game as a kid, YouTube was just barely a thing. So.
Oh yeah, I thought if I just funny story. I once lost my Phantom Hourglass cartridge, and I was like, how to play Phantom Hourglass on PC. Those were fun times. Here it is, guys, Golden Kermit. Holy crap.
The big Golden Kermit.
Kremit. His name's Kremit. You'll also come to find that the Cyclone Slate might just be debatably as broken as an item we get in... Is it Muto's Temple?
Which item are you talking about?
The Mega Hammer.
Yeah, that's Muto's Temple.
I'm just talking about the game-breaking item, no biggie. Not like it destroys the second half of the run or anything. And now with the Cyclone Slate, what we're gonna go do is politely shoot a golden froggy. Literally a fat catfish dolphin. Hey, that's my buddy. Hi, Brian.
Alright. Yeah, we're gonna go up and get our first warp point, which is up in this. This is one of the most important ones to get in the game.
Yup.
Because there's actually just north, kind of along the line where I drew, just at the end there's another island, which is a huge plot-related island.
Not like it's where the blade we need to kill the final squiddy boss is forged or anything. Nothing like that. Very nice second shot there.
Right. Yeah, actually...
Every frog... Oh, sorry, you first.
Yeah, you actually can't hit those frogs the first time they jump out of the ocean. Or at least I don't think you can.
Also, every frog has a special
symbol. But yeah.
I think Taz could do it. However, you'll see that Horn doesn't need to draw these symbols because they're just that good.
Yeah, I have all of the symbols memorized in the game, except for the other one that's in the southeast quadrant. I don't remember what that one is. But
that was our second save reset right there.
Oh yeah, we did do a save and reset there.
It's faster than turning the boat around. And we took a specific path here that'll put us right... Is it right now when we get the second golden frog, or are we just going straight back to...
No, we just go straight to the Temple of the Ocean King.
Alright.
We're going to be getting
this Temple of the Ocean King visit. It's interesting because it reveals something that we'll reuse again later, and it is the special crest door that gave, I'm pretty sure, everybody PTSD from trying to draw the Triforce on it.
Oh, I'm going to draw a beautiful Triforce for you later.
I hope so. I can't wait to see your Phantom Hourglass drawings on Doubled. Also, nice time save in the previous split.
Yeah, I actually golded that last split there.
You got a rainbow.
Very nice. Well, yeah, rainbow.
Rainbows are nice. They got every color in existence.
And now that we actually have some bombs, we can actually open up just a tiny little shortcut here.
It ends up saving time overall throughout the run, rather than running all the way around it.
Yeah, we end up using that little shortcut like 3 times, I think.
Yeah, and it saves time.
Now I'm actually going to
go... a total of like 7 seconds.
I'm going to go out of my way to hopefully get some bombs here. Yeah, because we want to be at a lot of bombs.
Bombs, in Phantom Hourglass, unlike Spirit Tracks, bombs are a required item. Whereas in Spirit Tracks, if you're playing casually, you don't need them. But in a speedrun sense, your whole run hinges on getting bombs.
Now, this is actually... now that we're in... This is the next time we're going through the Temple of the Ocean King, and this sort of brings up one of my favorite aspects about the Temple of the Ocean King. So many people complain that, you have to do the same floors over and over again, but as you just saw right there, I did that floor in a completely different way than I did it the first time. And there are a lot of the floors have, once you get more items and progress further into the game, you get more items that you can do alternate routes with. And so it's actually like really clever design, and I understand why so many people complain about the Temple of the Ocean King, but it's a bit of a shame to see. Yeah, like I do understand that, but I find it fascinating.
It is a really cool design. And fun thing about that first route, if you thought bombs were the only thing you could use in there, there's a spot where later on you can use the grappling hook and the bow to get a rare ship. Also, I feel like something that could have helped the design greatly, because I am a fan of the gimmick, would be if there was just more textures or different music as you got deeper down. I feel like just that 20-second drone loop of dun 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 dun.
Yeah, I definitely won't deny that the soundtrack is one of this game's weaker points.
Soundtrack, in my eyes, shows... Because at the time, remember, when this game was being made, people were like, oh, this is the death of Zelda, it can't be touchscreen. That might not have given the composers a lot of faith in the game. Still have some bangers in there, but the same dungeon theme being used a total of 13 times is kind of a yikes.
Oh, you see, I think they were just holding out on us for the release of Spirit Tracks, because that game's soundtrack, it goes hard.
I'm going to have to refrain from talking about all my favorite songs in that one, because this is a Phantom Hourglass run. You'll get to hear me talking about that Sunday, though, when I race Jasnick's 08 in Spirit Tracks, but I'm not going to take it away from your run. We are here to play funny Zelda boat game. Also in chat, Super Duper Aardvark says, I'm going to draw beautiful triangles for you later, and they say that is very hot. I don't feel any concern after reading that message in the slightest.
See, the funny thing is I might not be drawing triangles.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna draw forbidden shapes. Guys, pizza can be more than just a triangle. And with that third gem in, you're gonna see that we can get deeper into the Temple of the Ocean King now, by using the other spirits.
Yeah, so every spirit you get can unlock a new door. Well, I mean, there are only 3 spirits, but they unlock new doors.
My question, though, why is Celia's gems green but she's yellow? Interesting.
Checkmate. I don't know.
Oh, it's because the pearls from Wind Waker, the other funny boat game.
All right, so in this room, we actually have another one of those boomerang clips where we're going to be grabbing a key through the wall, but
It's
the
just
difference
tougher in
this time is
room.
that this one is actually hard.
Yeah, the wall here is very, very thick. It's got quite the dumpy, if you ask me. This is a big boy.
I think, yes, I got it there.
Nice. Coming up, a new mechanic that's introduced that what the fairies just talked about are warp eyes. We do not want to be spotted by these in this room at all in particular, because they will spawn in another phantom, and do we avoid it? No.
Nah, I misaimed
Unfortunate.
the boomerang there. But that's okay.
It happens, though.
Ultimately, that costs about 4 to 6 seconds. I forget how much exactly.
And when a warp eye gets on you, they will slow you down, and you have to do a rubbing section. I don't know what happened there. Just some fun mechanics. Surprise loot boxes, as they call them.
Alright, here we've got Basement 5, which is just a bunch of fights.
It's an enemy gauntlet. Although the one on Melita is much scarier. Also very nice getting the one cycle there on the Electro Chews.
The next room is a lot easier.
Yeah, it's just some mini
Well, that room wasn't hard. The second time we go through this room, it changes what enemies we fight, and that one's actually a lot harder.
And it's scarier because it has stronger enemies. Also, are we going to be shouting with all our might for the salvage arm to make it as dirt cheap as possible? Or are we just going to do a very light blow into the microphone?
No, it's going to be a hard blow. That is actually, unironically, one of the hardest parts of the run, is getting that first try.
Safety potion.
Yeah, so here's the safety potion that I was going to get just so that Courage Temple goes better.
Anywho, coming up is the Crested Door. Also, you will see us avoiding that warp eye because it'll make that bottom phantom come back and bad things happen. This room actually reveals to you you need to draw the Phantom Hourglass to find the Sacred Crest, to find the Sun Key. The Sun Key goes into a door on Melita Island. Phrasing. Oh. Don't take that out of context, you guys. And this is where...
now for the worst puzzle in the entire game.
I got stuck here for a month.
I don't know a single person who figured this out on their own. So
you have to close the DS.
It's a little broken. Yeah, it's a little broken on the Wii U because you just have to open up the menu, the Wii U menu there. But yeah, on the DS, what you're supposed to do is literally close the DS, and it's sort of it's like a stamping motion, and that's how the game describes it even. And it's one of the most clever puzzles I've ever seen in a video game.
But when you're 6 years old,
it's also so clever that nobody figures it out.
Yeah. I think the eShop, like the Virtual Console release of Phantom Hourglass, is actually a specially patched ROM to allow pressing the home screen to count as a DS closing.
Well, yeah, all of the DS games, they do it like that. As far as I'm aware, at least.
Maybe.
At the very least, this game does, yeah.
We're gonna go get the last upgrade to our boat. A salvage arm, because no ship is complete without a highly explosive cannon and a way to rip up dead people's treasure from the ocean.
Now right here I'm taking a tiny little detour because this is where the second golden Kermit is, right here.
You remembered!
I did.
Look at him go, you guys, it's my boy.
So yeah, this guy we're going to use this guy a lot as well.
He puts us right here.
Yeah, right in front of the Temple of the Ocean, well, the island that has Temple of the Ocean King. Murkay, that's the name.
Hear me out. Instead of Ocean King, Ocean Man. Ocean Man.
Alright, right here we just skip that by walking down at an angle. It's actually pretty easy.
Yeah.
Now right here we have... I'll let you explain this because I need my breath for a minute here.
So, you need to... The louder you scream into this, or the louder you blow, harder you blow, you get the salvage arm for cheaper.
Nice.
Nice.
So the lowest, I just got the lowest that you can get, which is 200 rupees.
It took some convincing, but I think we blew hard enough for that salvage arm. Alright, I'll stop. I don't want to get kicked out of here.
Fortunately, I figured out a bit of a consistent way of getting 200 rupees, it seems, so I'm really happy about that.
Key for leaking Mega Man 12 Robot Masters. Yup, totally. And now, we're going to be driving... Well, yeah, we're driving the boat over the crest, because we're going to drop the salvage arm into the ocean there, and pull up the legendary Sun Key.
Yeah, normally it would actually, if you stop on top of the crest, there's a bunch of Sela text telling you, oh hey, maybe it's on the bottom of the ocean.
Oh yeah.
But if you just pull out your salvage arm while you're sailing, it skips that.
Need to stop blowing the mechanic, says Tommeltach. I think I pronounced that right. And he's like, wait a minute. Anywho, so, salvage minigame, it's really simple. You can pick up rupees, make sure to avoid the mines and avoid hitting walls. As you can see, we're currently in the downward speed, which moves it downward faster. You can leave the crane sort of neutral, but it'll still slowly go down.
Yeah. So this specific salvage to get the sun key is always 100% consistent, but in 100% you have other ones that you need to pick up.
Yeah.
Because, you get treasure charts in this game. We're actually going to be getting one, I think, later.
Treasure charts, and you get Sand of Hours from the bottom of the ocean. However, I think there's
ship parts and other things, but yeah.
I think there's only 10 layouts total for the salvage arm minigame. And this one's actually reused a few times.
Yeah, but with those ones, it's kind of random which ones it picks, as far as I'm aware. So yeah,
it is. But there's like a total of 10.
With this one, it's fine. It's always the same.
Yeah.
Also, I'm going to be saving a lot of time on this segment here.
Oh, nice! You're almost back in it. It's time to destroy Shasta. Kidding, unless.
Yeah, my PB ended up getting like 5th or 6th try salvage arm there.
Oof. Coming up is the first of, what, 4 ship boss fights?
If you count the final boss, then it's...
I just thought of the Great Spin boss fight for some reason, yeah. I thought of that whole side quest.
Oh no, I'm gonna hit the... Yeah.
Oh, almost. That is unfortunately a little bit of time lost there.
Come on.
Oh no.
So, yeah, this is the dumb thing about getting stuck on the bow, is you kind of have to, like, specifically move away from the rocks in order to get out of being stuck.
Yeah. Also, I've got a really good explanation for the boss fight coming up, unless you want to go over it.
You can go ahead, yeah.
So, the boss coming up, I don't even think it has a name, it's Big Flower Guy. The stream has been live for 14 hours, 18 minutes. Nice. So, during this boss, it's going to attack you, and you have to attack its eye. However, if you just sit there stopped, it's going to keep attacking you. After you shoot its eye and it starts shooting at you, the game is going to be checking for boat movement. So, Hornlitz should be setting a small line here that they're going to stop and go on repeatedly. To keep up the cycle to hit 4 shots, or was it 5 shots?
It's 4 shots.
Alright. I think the rematch is 5.
It could be, I don't know, I haven't done that rematch in a long time.
Anywho, as you'll see, Horns is stopped, and as soon as it starts firing, we move again, because the game is going to check and see if we moved at all during those shots. So that way it'll open its weak spot back up. Yeah,
it's kind of like right as the boss finishes shooting the green stuff, that's when it checks if you're moving. At least I think it's right around there.
It's actually a pretty solid window that the game's checking. And sometimes the Phantom Hourglass cannon can be a bit of a butt, and not always want to cooperate.
Yeah, like right there I shot a little bit too early that first time, because the eye doesn't actually have a hitbox until it's like already out.
Yeah. That was 4 shots.
That's 3 shots there.
I'm blind, alright.
And the way that I drew my line, actually I'm gonna need to stop here. Yeah. I drew my line in such a way so that I'm actually facing the island when I finish the boss, because after this there's a cutscene where you sail into the island, and if you're already facing the island, then you don't have to spend time moving towards it. And actually, if you're close enough, then it just skips the cutscene it just skips the cutscene. Anyway,
and here's that hole we told you about.
Yeah, this is the true secret hideout, but we don't actually care about what the secret hideout has to offer. We just care about what's behind this door here.
Link's been drinking his calcium. He did not break his legs there. Any normal human falling down that would have died.
Yeah.
And you coming up is one of the scarier sections, and then the temple itself is even scarier.
Yeah, this section's a little... I wouldn't necessarily say it's super scary, it's just there's a lot of enemies and it's easy to lose time to getting hit and whatnot.
Yeah. Also, not hitting that statue loses a bit of time. Our goal here is to make these 3 statues around the area point towards the temple and open the door. Also, shoutouts to this boss coming up being the weakest in the game.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, the boss of this dungeon is such a pushover.
I wonder if Nintendo spent more time working on the 2-screen mechanic than actual concepts for the boss. Also, fun fact I read somewhere, the DS top screen wasn't really meant to do 3D. The bottom screen was. So make of that what you will.
I always just assumed they were the exact same.
I mean, the top screen has a ribbon cable feeding in from the main board, but all the display power's in the bottom screen.
Oh, interesting. I definitely have never opened the DS up.
I have to
I do not know enough about electronics.
I have to open my DS Fat to put a capture board in it in the near future.
Yeah, I just paid somebody to give my 3DS a capture card.
Nice. Like Katsu Kitty or something, or Evo Capture?
Loopy.
Oh, nice. That stuff's so expensive these days, though.
Yeah,
anyways, Temple of Courage. We've got some solid health, which will allow us to clip through these because the game just gives up on trying to push Link back if you push hard enough.
Pretty much by standing against the wall, we can't get pushed back anymore, so it just lets us clip through.
Now, this dungeon might look big and intimidating at first, and, well,
and it is.
A reoccurring theme with a lot of PH dungeons, except this one. They all look big and intimidating at first, but it just becomes long sets of corridors. Anyway, these are some of the new enemies we're going to start bumping into here and there, and they are scary.
Yeah. That fight there is pretty scary. If you use a boomerang on them, it does actually 2 hits of damage rather than 1, which was what the sword does, so you can take them out a little quicker that way. Ooh, I actually got a heart there.
PH... Nice. Shoutouts to the PH boomerang doing actual damage. Oh, a lot more enemies. Very nice pattern, by the way. The DB. Here's another super scary enemy that can seriously mess you up. Also, we're hitting that switch for something coming up.
Yeah, those switches work a lot like the ones, if you've seen A Link to the Past, they have the same kinds of switches, where they're toggle switches that open some doors and close others.
Speaking of A Link to the Past, A Link Between Worlds, supposedly, I read that it used a modified version of the Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass engine. Also, normally, those green shoes, you need to use sound to weaken them, which can be bypassed if you hit them when they spawn. However, Pikachu, he's invincible until you scream at him.
I think the Pulse voice is there. Those are what needs sound. I think the green shoes just... Actually, I don't know what's up with the green shoes in this game.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, they're palette swaps.
Well, normally you're expected to use sound on them too, but if you just kill them before that instance is checked. Also, these statue dudes, I'm gonna just call them Minecraft Iron Golems. They get very upset if they see you.
Taking a bit of damage there, so I can damage boost through the little electro worm and this Beamo statue. Yeah.
You know you're on a good cycle if you have to do that damage boost. It means you've moved around the room. And here is a mechanic that can get annoying. This is not the only time this is going to show up. This is going to haunt us till the end of the game. These are crystals, aka this one's the square crystal. They can open and close doors when you put them into their respective pedestals.
The thing about these ones is that you do have a slower movement speed when you're holding them, and you can't roll, but it's actually not... it's about the same speed to do like the throw and the throwing mechanic like we do with like the Triforce pieces and the boss keys.
Yeah.
So
here's the bow.
It basically saves time to not do that. Anyways.
Also, shoutouts to... Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry.
I forgot to mention, or I didn't mention, I was explaining something. I went off on a bit of a invisible platform so I could hit the switch again, which actually just skips having to do like a little bit of a bow puzzle to switch them back.
Yeah.
Come on.
Also, that bridge there, I never knew about it as a kid. With that 100 rupee chest.
Oh, really?
I don't think anybody did. It was never said. It just kind of floated there, and I'm like, maybe I can get it later?
That's
so scared.
Yeah, that invisible bridge. I didn't know anything about it until actually I think it was Ben Stevens who came up with that idea to go and hit that switch. Just from that little invisible platform, and I was like, oh, I didn't even know that was there.
I like how all of the models are just ported from Wind Waker. some of them, not all of them, and models that are ported had to be heavily downscaled because the DS only had 4 megabytes of RAM to work off of, and I think 1
that's the best I've
megabyte.
ever done that fight.
Yeah, that went really well. The DS had 4 megabytes of RAM to run off of, and I think 1 megabyte of VRAM. It did not have a lot to work off of.
Yeah, so
Shout
that
outs to
fight that
Killing
I
Victims.
just did, that fight that I just did, is very scary. It's so easy to lose time there, and if you don't do it fast enough, you actually miss these platform cycles, which ends up losing you like 20 seconds just right off the bat there. So it's a really scary part of the run.
What is this? Good RNG in a marathon? Are you kidding me?
I got
Also, that was a
really
clip.
good luck there.
This is another damage boost, and before that was a clip.
Just wasn't
just
fast
missed it.
enough, but that's okay.
That was a clip through the little spike spinner, the blade spinner. To skip using the metal block there that the game expects you to use. You're supposed to like trap it in there. But that's too long for us. Oh, nice. Good job. And you just have to light all 6 of these, well, technically all 5 of these torches to advance on. Making Link a little plate of boomerang spaghetti, it seems.
Actually, I don't want to do it right there. I have 2 more torches to light.
That's true. There we go. And there's more of those super scary enemies that if they touch you, you're just going to go flying off the map.
Yeah, this is actually the sort of scary part where they're used. Yeah, like that.
Yep. You want to be funny for a Kaizo hack?
Excuse me.
If these
please.
guys could throw you all the way across the room.
I normally don't have to do that, but yeah, I was a little slow there, so...
But hey, you've made good time on your cycles already. You might have to skip your bow split, though.
Yeah, I realized.
Oh, it's Pikachu! No way.
I really like how they implemented Pole's voices in this game, because they, like, as far back as Zelda 1, they have the
mic.
the little, yeah, it's kind of like canon that they're like scared of sound.
Yeah.
And so like in
Also-
Zelda 1, if you play the flute, they all immediately die. And in this game, if you like actually blow into the mic or like make a sound, they'll get scared, and that makes their defenses go way down.
Is that a new route
Oh,
for this
no.
block? Oh no.
It's not exactly a new route for the block. I just kind of modified it so that it's just one path. Well, it's supposed to be one path that you have to go on. Yeah, I'm normally not supposed to run off there. I knew that was going to happen eventually.
It happens.
Yeah. Right now is when I want to fall off and pick up the key here. Yeah, this is actually a weirdly... This is a unique mechanic to this dungeon, where you actually have to open up the map and it will follow what you draw on the map rather than just actually drawing a path for it, like in some other method.
It makes me wonder if there's some way to use it to just skip needing the boss key, but who knows?
That would be cool, but...
You never
All
know.
right.
Coming up is the weakest boss fight in the entire game.
It's super easy.
They die if you play the ocarina. Nice. Yeah, this boss only takes 7 hits. It can be 7 hits from the bow, 7 bombs, just any type of 7 hits, and it's dead.
Yeah, this is a boss that's actually hit-based rather than health-based. It doesn't matter how much damage you do to it, it's always 7 hits.
And I'm wondering if it's because they thought casual players on their first go here would struggle a lot. Because as you'll see, this boss is really, it's just about its gimmick in the top screen until you violently put out its eye.
Yeah, like casually, if you're not a speedrunner and not good at this fight,
it'll suck.
It's actually one of the hardest fights in the game because you have to use the top screen to figure out where.
Uh-oh.
No, it's okay.
Anywho, as you can see,
actually,
we're
no,
doing
that's another cycle. I messed up the 3 cycle. Okay, there.
Doing the hits there a little carefully to avoid cycling too much.
That was
and he's dead.
That was a really bad fight.
Okay,
yeah,
they
I
can't
got
all be bangers.
pretty bad luck with the position of those other like crab or spider enemies or whatever they are, because they can just be wherever in the map, and they were just in bad spots, and they kept getting in the way. And also, I was just not aiming correctly, but that's okay.
It happens.
I got through the dungeon without dying, so that's a plus.
There's a better boss fight coming up anyway. That's slightly more RNG dependent.
Don't say this is a better boss fight coming up. It's awful.
Oh yeah, no, it's just, if I could swear, I'd be saying every bad word under the sun about this boss fight.
It is definitely the worst boss fight in the game. Ooh,
I would say in length, Gleeok definitely ties it.
Oh yeah,
or whatever
Gleeok
they're called.
Is a long boss fight. Gleeok is easy. So
The Dragon Bros, just long and... Well, if you're low on health, those icebergs can be the Doomsday Zone from Sonic and Knuckles on 10 rings.
The thing about those icebergs is that they always drop hearts.
True.
So,
anywho, that cutscene we just skipped, it's Celia being revealed to be the Spirit of Courage. Wow, who could have guessed? Anyways, coming up is Lineback's crazy ex-girlfriend. That just materialized in front of us.
So the thing about this segment of the game after Courage Temple and up to the end of the next dungeon is actually the most like RNG heavy segment of the game. Right here we have Jolene, who is a little bit of a mini boss fight, and it's very luck based.
Yeah.
She will always do that attack there first, and then after that it's random whether or not she does that attack again. And it's rather random how long it takes her to do that attack. Oh wow.
You can end up hitting her almost 20 times before she'll let you attack.
Excuse me? I have never seen
a fourth one.
I have never seen getting a fourth one. That was actually so lucky that it was unlucky.
Yeah. Still a solid fight though. That's interesting.
Yeah,
though. I've never seen that.
Yeah, even with the fourth attack there, that's still faster than I normally get that fight.
Yeah. Also,
sometimes she can be sitting there for like 30 seconds to a minute.
Yeah.
Oops.
So, coming up, we're actually going to not enter the fog from this coordinate, but rather the other one because it saves time. Also, little thing, Lineback will pay you more and more the more time you save his butt from pirates.
Well, from Jolene specifically.
Well, and the little pirates too,
Oh yeah, that's true, you can...
The stronger blends that board you later.
Yeah, you can get boarded by those pirates.
Yeah, but they won't kidnap Lineback like you can have passengers kidnapped in Spirit Troops. Can we talk about that for a second? Like, I mean, you are fighting pirates, so technically it is kind of funny Zelda boat game. You could literally watch your passengers get kidnapped by pirates. Link could just stand there and be like, he can just be picking his nose, maybe scratching his butt a bit, and just the passenger could be screaming at him to help as a cage is being formed over their head. Oh no, our boat stopped. How coincidental.
Yeah, so our boat kind of breaks here, and this is the other big RNG segment before we enter the dungeon. We're needing to enter the ghost ship here.
Yup, but now we have to manually drop
will be in a random spot in this top right corner of the map.
If it's in the very top left, that's the slowest possible pattern.
Yeah.
Seems like we might get that, we might not. So anyways, when the fairies give off those sparkles, you know you're pointing towards the ghost ship.
Did I? Oh, no, I just... Okay, I wasn't sure where I'm in.
Ideally, you want to be driving the boat for only like 30 seconds. And here it is.
That was unfortunately not the best luck, but that's okay.
Yeah.
With how good the Jolene fight was, that was still a decent segment.
Yeah, we're still ahead by a little bit. And here's the ghost ship. Did they make an original theme for this really cool place? No. No, they did not. But it's got more of a design than it did in Phantom Hourglass. I meant Wind Waker. Wow.
Alright,
and on
so this is... The thing about this dungeon is that the dungeon itself is actually pretty consistent for the most part.
Yeah.
This first fight notwithstanding.
Also, real quick, quick shout out to Scrub Central for rating with a party of 32. Wow.
Nice.
Ghost Ship just has one very annoying mechanic, and it is screaming orphans.
So yeah, basically these, the whole gimmick of this dungeon is there are 4 of these sisters throughout the dungeon, and we need to bring all of them to this first sister here. But if any of them sees a spider along the way, they'll scream and stop, and you'll have to go and kill the spider and then talk to them. Hopefully, if I do everything right, I will not be seeing that at all.
And there's something very scary that happens if they start screaming. How would you guys like to see a phantom that can go through the walls and keep hitting you until you die?
Yeah, that definitely does happen. On not this floor, but the next floor.
Unironically, the Reaperlings actually gave me nightmares as a kid. Just
They are
something about
pretty
the
scary.
fact, something about this enemy that I can't hurt at all, that can just phase through walls and come at me. It was scary. Anyways, the bow and the boomerang are your best methods of killing these spiders, and yeah, we do need the triangle. Despite the fact that the Cubist sisters can walk through enemy projectiles just fine, they seemingly will stop to not walk through fire. And yeah, you do have a couple second delay to hit the spiders before...
It's actually, it's really... you only have like half a second, actually. It's pretty tight. It's not actually that hard, but yeah, it's a bit tight.
It's a miracle Link doesn't take notice of these girls who can just walk through fire without getting hurt. You'd think he would ask how to learn that ability himself. Also, apparently the red one is the oldest and the biggest sister of all.
No, actually, the red one's the youngest.
Sorry for not remembering
one,
the very complex lore of this chapter of the manga. And here they come, the Reaperlings. However, if this place is cursed, the big question is, why didn't we end up having to use the Phantom Hourglass here? Funny how that works.
Good question. I've never thought about that.
Because there's safe zones, so by technicality, this place is cursed. And I mean, a lot of this is Bellum's influence, so...
Right, just earlier there, if you saw I had to stop for a second, if I had have kept going, the Reaper there would have actually seen me, and it would have been not fun.
Yeah, that Reaperling will chase you down through walls. He just turns on his Minecraft hacked client, and things end up not going too well. You'll also see though we have this shortcut opened up to us, and it has another little gem for us. Link knows better than ask little girls' abilities. I don't know if I should have read that out loud.
One of the good things about these sisters is that they actually have some pretty bad eyesight sometimes. Oh no, I hit this thing.
Yo, don't you want to know the number of treasure chests? Linebacker would like to know.
There's one on this floor, and
I know.
Oh, whoops! I totally.
Oh, dang.
Okay, I was. Yeah.
I don't know, if you upscale that thing, it might look a little more scary.
Alright. Yeah, there are only 2 treasure chests on this floor. I got one of them, and the other one is, like, right next to that statue, so...
I honestly think Linebacker was expecting Link to walk out with, like, 30 bags of treasure, 50,000 gems just overflowing out of his pants, like, Linebacker, we're rich. Anyway, coming up is the final basement floor of the ghost ship, and there's a puzzle here that probably confused a lot of people when they were kids and caused a Reaperling to spawn, and that wasn't fun, but 24513.
21543.
2154113.
Or, sorry, I'm... brain didn't work. 41523. Alright. Yeah, the dumb thing is, yeah, there's a little plaque that you can read in this room that just spawns one of those Reapers, and it's really annoying.
It's
but
the
obviously
switch you
I'm gonna
hit.
do that.
Yeah, I think it's the switch you hit right there.
Yeah.
That spawns it in and downs the fake spikes and teaches you about trapdoors. Anyway, this is the barrel storage.
Got the double snake there. That loses like 3 frames.
Oh man. I'm scared of all 50 pixels. I know. Scout chills are truly terrifying, Clouds. And here's the 4th Cubist sister coming up, and still we don't want to get scared by spiders, but thank God the Reaperling isn't here, otherwise it would chase us through the wall.
The Reaperling is really hard on this floor if you spawn it, but fortunately you have to go out of your way to spawn it, so...
Yeah. And that Cubist sister revealed something that can be very helpful when you return to the Temple of the Ocean King if this is your first time playing. Anything with the Eye of Bellum on it, the Reaperlings, the Phantoms, if you hit them in the back with an arrow, it stuns them for about 20 seconds. And this is how younger me decided to just smack every single Phantom into the void after shooting them with an arrow. She tells you that, oh, that's gonna hurt them, don't do it. That'll just cause them, like, heart problems. That'd be very not cool if you did that, Mr. Hero Man.
Yeah, she tells you not to do that. She says, like, they're really sensitive on the back, so you shouldn't do that, but...
You wouldn't want somebody shooting you in the back with an arrow, Mr. Link. Now would you? And now they're all together. Time for the worst boss fight in the game. Like, actually, the worst. There's probably less effort put into this than the rematch with the big pea shooter.
It's... yeah. This fight is really bad. So basically, the start of the fight is always consistent. The red sister will shoot out an orb, and we have to shoot it or hit it back, just like, you know, in Ocarina of Time when you have to do the tennis thing with Ganondorf. And
pretty sure.
And she'll always die right away. Like, she won't volley it back. But once the red one dies, the rest of them, this is when it gets really luck-based. So not only can they shoot the wrong type of projectile that you can't send back, it's like the blue ball thing from Aghanim in A Link to the Past, but they also can spend as much time as they want volleying these balls back. There's the bad attack that you don't want.
Yeah. I mean, it's the obligatory game of tennis.
Yeah, not only do they spend as long as they want volleying these things, but also each of these sisters has 2 health right now, and if you know, each thing does 1 damage, and but after the next 2 sisters die, after the next 2 sisters die, it resets the third one back to 3 health. So basically what that means is if you get unlucky, you can have all 3 of the sisters take 1 damage, and then when you kill the 2 sisters, it resets the sisters' health,
just got that.
Just got, yeah.
Yeah,
so
this fight's gonna take a little longer.
Really bad boss fight, but that's, again, it's completely luck-based, whether or not this fight goes well.
Out of all obligatory tennis matches in Zelda games, this is probably my least favorite.
This is
not even just because the RNG element, but I mean, the theming for the fight's cool. You're literally out at sea on the ghost ship, but this fight goes on for way too long.
Yeah, and unfortunately, with me doing this on the Wii U Gamepad, it's also a harder fight because like normally top screen and bottom screen are like so many wrong attacks. Yeah, basically the top and bottom screens aren't right next to each other on the Wii U Gamepad. Or at least on the layout that I'm using.
Yeah. It's better to use a layout where ouch.
I have never seen luck this bad.
It's a marathon, what do you expect? But basically, on Gamepad for these Zelda games, both Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass, the most optimal thing to do is set the bottom screen to take up the majority of the Gamepad. And then leave the top screen to be smaller. Playing it like an actual DS can make some things a little more rough. 1 more hit, and then she's dead.
No, 2 more.
Uh-oh. My bad. Sorry to get your hopes up.
I cannot believe how bad this fight was, and most of it wasn't my fault as well.
Hey, we've got cooler bosses to show off after this. We're going to be fighting an ancient wood demon lord, basically.
Hey. Yeah, I'm losing well over a minute to this boss fight because that was... like, I've never seen getting 4 of the wrong attack in a row.
Yeah, and now we've got the Ghost Key. And little fun fact, if you skip this heart container, the Cuba sisters actually mail it to you.
It's actually, no, it's the, literally, it's the development team of the game that mails it to you.
Oh, yeah?
They literally,
if you don't
the mail says something along the lines of, like, hey, it's the dev team here. We noticed you skipped this heart container, so here you go.
That actually once ruined a hero mode playthrough for me. And if you don't mind, actually, I need to get up and use the restroom real quick, now that we are at the midway point.
Yeah, this is the midpoint of the run, or midpoint of the run.
Alright, I will be right back in a moment, my friend.
Alright.
Headphones on?
So, at this point in the game, the plot is basically, we just discovered Tetra, but she has been turned to stone. So we need to now find out how to turn her back. And Oshis, who's the old man at the start of the game, shows up again and tells us that we need to go and defeat Bellum, basically, to do it. But in order to get Linebeck's help, Oshis promised Linebeck that he would grant him 1 wish, any wish that he wants, if he helps us out. So we've got line back on board now for the rest of the game. But anyways, so the next plot point is to go up to this island that I mentioned earlier. This is Zhao's island that I'm coming up to. And he's a blacksmith, and he's going to forge the Phantom Sword, or it's the Phantom Sword. He's gonna make it for us, but in order to do that, we need to gather a few things, which are across the next 3 dungeons. We need certain kinds of metal. So yeah, that's what starts the second half of the game. Now, he tells us we need to go back to the Temple of the Ocean King in order to get the rest of the sea charts, which is where we get the rest of the metal that we need. But we went as far as we could in the Temple of the Ocean King, but there is...
Or so we thought.
Or so we thought. Yeah, there's if we draw that Triforce there on the same chart, or the same door that we drew the Hourglass on earlier, then it will lead us to a different area. So that's what we're gonna do.
However, drawing that Triforce is a big nightmare, and it stumped many people for ages.
Easy.
I used to try and, I'll have to show you later, but I used to try and draw it in such a dumb way, and it worked 1 out of 100 attempts. Anyways, coming up, Temple the Ocean King, Visit 4, and we're going to... Yeah, because there's Visit 1, Visit 2, Visit 3, and this is Visit 4. Visit 1 to save the line back, Visit 2 to get the second sea chart?
Yeah, to get the sea chart we're in right now, and then the next one is the northeast, and this one we're actually going to be running through the entire Temple of the Ocean King.
And I've got a fun story while we're in this one. Some people may know, some people may not. There's a special combination you can do at the end to go even deeper to the last floors of the Temple of the Ocean King, and potentially get 2 sea charts in one visit. However, typically you don't have a lot of stand-up hours unless you're a speedrunner. If it's your first casual time going through, this can definitely be a bad time, because you've only got the boomerang, the shovel, bombs, and the bow. However, you can make it to the bottom. My first time
I'm
doing
gonna
that...
do it for you.
Yeah. My first time ever attempting that was my first playthrough of the game, and I had about 30-ish seconds in my Phantom Hourglass going down to those last 3 floors. I was on a heart, grabbing my last sea chart, hauling through here. And now another mechanic. There's a second type of Phantom, can you believe it? And they're red, which clearly means faster. Although shouldn't the blue Phantom be faster because Sonic the Hedgehog?
Checkmate, I guess.
Also, these Phantoms are not screwing around. They are called Swift Phantoms, and they can seriously mess you up if you're not careful.
Yep. Actually, Basement 3 is kind of hard. Well, not hard. It's a little risky as a result, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, you also actually... This is when Phantoms, if you leave something in front of them, like a crystal or a Triforce piece, they will pick it up and run off with it. So you'll need to trap them and kill them. Or stun them in the back with the bow, and then just jump slash them into a pit, which we will see coming up. Always find it funny that the game is like, if you really want to do this and waste time, by all means go for it. Just jump slash at them until they just off.
And this is the last time we're going to see this boomerang clip.
Yep, because next time we enter the Temple of the Ocean King will be to fight Bellum, and we will have a shortcut portal that will open after putting the Triforce into the crest door. Anyways, Basement 3, as you can see, Swift Phantoms. I think they're roughly 1.75 times the speed of a normal Phantom. And
also, this right here, this room is the room where in my run in 2018 or 2017, whichever it was, I completely blew it and I lost 4 minutes here. So hopefully that doesn't happen.
This is your anime redemption arc, alright? This is the mid-season finale where you switch from the side of never winning to finally winning. Now, as you can see, we are still going to kill this Phantom, otherwise it's going to take our big piece of cheese.
It's going to get in the way if we try and if we just leave it as is. So best to just get rid of it.
Also, you might think that Link throwing the Force Gems is the fastest way to move them. Well, once we visit the last dungeon of the game and get a certain item that is way better in this game than it was Phantom Hourglass Waker, you'll start to see the difference. And by that I mean the grappling hook, which debatably has just as many broken uses in my opinion as the hammer, except maybe clipping through walls and sequence breaking an entire major island of the game and doing as much damage as the sword. This game's great. Very well designed.
I do love this game. I do think it is a well-designed game. It gets a lot of flack for various reasons that maybe they're not wrong, but I still love the game.
Yeah. Like, there are definitely a lot of things that could be done to have improved it, like, add some different music to the temple, the Ocean King, give it, like, different textures as you get deeper instead of just, like, palette swapping like they did. Like this, like, for... Like, if the textures didn't look also samey, so nice on that. And also, with the bow, as you saw, we were actually able to disable all the gusts. And so long as we don't get spotted, we will never respawn the Phantom there, which won't be a problem. This was my first Zelda game, so I still love it regardless, too. That's fair.
Yeah, this was one of my first Zelda games as well.
When you're a kid, you don't have as critical of an eye, so definitely not noticing things is just kind of a natural thing. That's why I still love Spirit Tracks to this day as my favorite Zelda, despite it having its flaws. I mean, I can tell you now with 100% certainty that game needs a faster train, but... It'd be so great to see, like, HD ports of Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks with, like, just upgrades to the original games to make it better. Let's bring back that speed gauge for the boat.
Come on.
Oof. Getting stuck in it is not good.
A little iffy, but that was alright.
Yep. I could have made a topical Among Us joke right there, but I'm refraining from it.
That fight is pretty difficult to do well.
Yeah. I literally couldn't play the last flute song. I can play that better than TAS. Or, well, just as good as TAS.
There is no TAS of this game.
He was talking about the flute and Spirit Tracks. And don't say there's no TAS for Phantom Hourglass. I could be cooking up something for all you know.
Well, okay, that's true. Anyways, look at this really awesome Triforce I'm gonna draw. See,
excuse me, but you're shitting me. That didn't work. Oh my golly.
Yeah, it's nice. I like that you can do that.
ZSR mods, I promise I will never swear again. That was just... That door gave me more trauma as a kid than trying to draw the figure eights in Bellum. Close enough. Yeah, totally. I don't even know what the detection is for that stupid door. I still love PHNST, but a port with upgraded graphics and more standard control scheme would be cool. Yeah, but then just comes the question of, what are they going to do with the microphone? Add, like, a whistle item, or, like, just a blow button?
You could just get rid of it and have Edo sell you the cannon for 200 rupees all the time.
True, but Spirit Tracks, a big part of that is the freaking flute. And because of how these games are both on the same console, they wouldn't release one without the other being remade. There are ROM hacks for D-pad control. That is true. There's actually a really good one for Spirit Tracks that lets you control Phantom Zelda with the D-pad when Link's not being used for it. Same with Phantom Hourglass. Yeah, watch your... Whoa.
Yeah, here we're in the new floors, and this is where the... Oh, shoot, that's bad.
Oh, boy.
I actually need to reset the floor.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Tobble Tatch in chat says, watch your... fluffin' language. Understood, sir.
Alright.
One thing I will say about this room, the top of the wall texture, like, if it was just purple all around, it would definitely match, but there's just a big, black, gaping void.
True.
I know, guys, I'm sorry. Pan Flute could just be like Ocarina of... That would be cool. That would be so cool.
So yeah, the reason I needed to reset this room when I messed up a little bit was to reset that Phantom cycle there, as well as the moving platform I was on earlier.
That moving platform and that Phantom cycle are very crucial for that room. Not making them can result in a lot of things going on.
It's a pain if you don't make that cycle.
Yeah.
Alright.
The flute made some bangers, though. We can talk more about the flute after the run, you guys. This is Phantom Hourglass.
There ain't no flute in this run.
We'll be dragging around these crystal pedestals for a little longer. And then they'll be out of our hair for about an hour.
These three floors here are actually like one gigantic puzzle. And it's actually pretty cool, but it's also broken because right here I'm going to do this.
Oh yeah, you're just going to sequence break
and that just breaks the puzzle.
Yep.
By throwing that thing over there. It's a little tricky to do it. You actually kind of like have to turn around before throwing it. Otherwise you'll jump off the ledge.
And the crystal will freak out if you do that.
Yeah, but it's by doing that it skips having to do a bunch of extraneous stuff. I'm actually going to do another throw here just because it saves a little bit of time.
And this is where we kill our first Phantom.
Or not.
Or not. He's too far now.
Okay, that's
Uh-oh. But you can still hit him up here. You can...
It saw me?
How? Use invincibility and get away. Oh boy, this is bald.
Oh, cool. That was one arrow. Well, I have to deal with that guy not being dead then.
That's gonna be a little
iffy.
A little rough. Shoutouts to that one tiny safe zone there. It's saved me a number of times. Well, this game didn't really promote musical creativity. You don't say. It's like the same dungeon theme was reused 12, 13 times or anything like that at all. No. This game is Mozart's secret masterpiece. Anywho, coming up is the... We just need to go back up for our triangle. And now we have all three crystal pedestals united, and we need to put them in specific order to go even deeper. And this guy here is warning us about a new enemy that definitely messes up some people's runs. It is a mini Reaperling, or just a Grim Reaper. What they will do is if they hit you, they will start stealing time from you. However, unlike a Phantom, they will not respawn you. Instead, after hitting you, they'll despawn for a bit until you get them back. What we're going for is the square here off the Phantom, and we get it just fine. Very nice. I know that's given Shasta some struggle in the past.
Yeah, that one's pretty risky there. If you walk to... There was another mechanic that was introduced on these floors with the blue floors there. If you walk too fast on them, it notifies the guards that you're there because it makes sound.
And the Phantom will come charging at you. In that corner is the skeleton who tells you about the order we just put the crystals, and he's like, hey, I got deeper by doing this. Maybe you should try. Because as you can see, there's one more part of the sea, but it's like, surely there's not another crest for the door, right? Nope. We cause a cave-in. We cause a whole earthquake. Or is it just... I'm not even sure if it's an earthquake. Is it just moving the stairs down a little bit?
I want to say it's an elevator.
Yeah. Also picking up that 30 seconds and a heart for insurance.
And this is where arrows actually for insurance.
This is where we get introduced to the last type of Phantom if you don't count Phantom Lineback. These are warp Phantoms. They are very slow, but if a warp eye spots you, they will warp to where you were spotted at. Also, these were actually potentially the first Phantoms to be finished based on prototype footage from a trailer for the game, where the Phantom scene was a yellowish hue. And you'll see their warp power right here.
Right here, the reason I'm purposely getting caught here, sort of, is actually to lure this guy out so that I can bomb him and then grab his key.
Which saves time over what you're expected to do.
Mm-hmm.
You're expected to push a boulder into him, but that's after opening the spikes on the left, which is like a mini puzzle in of itself. And now we can go down to next floor. Once you get it down, these last 3 floors are not hard at all.
Yeah, because this floor is actually kind of tricky. Actually, both of them are in this visit. The next visit, they're pretty easy, but...
Yeah. They had to... The way the rooms are designed the way they are is because the devs knew that some people would push to get both sea charts in one final visit. So they had to make it as possible with as minimal items as possible, aka what you were forced to have up until now. Because you can come back later with the bomb shoes and the grappling hook and get the last sea chart then, but that is slower the speedrun. What we're doing here is we need to hit 4 switches to open a door for us, so that we can get down to the penultimate floor of the dungeon.
There's actually a really neat bomb throw I'm going to be doing pretty soon here.
Ooh, I know which one you're talking about. And it is really cool.
So right
here.
One of those...
Yep.
Right there. We throw that bomb onto the switch there so that we can avoid having to hit it first and then come up here. And that's actually really difficult to do, or like from a casual standpoint. Like, yeah, the warp phantoms just get in the way so much there.
All right, and here's one last horrible pedestal room.
Yeah, wow. This room is not my favorite. Although we do have a very cool trick here that we're about to do. Right there, I'm killing that the Phantom Eye there before it actually sees me, because if you don't, then it kind of messes up with a lot of this room. That first one's actually not too much of a problem, but the second eye in this floor is really bad.
Yeah, that one can really get you into a lot of trouble, especially if the Swift Phantom in the top right is spawned. Now then, you will see us abuse our pal, the Warp Phantom here. He's gonna do us a big favor.
Ooh, I did get it, okay.
Alright. So you might be wondering, wait, why are they not immediately taking that last piece of cheese? You're about to see why. Also, never mind, we're good. I just thought something happened. We're fine.
So I'm purposely alerting myself here, and then I'm going to shoot this guy in the back so that he's dizzy, and then I'm going to lure this guy over, throw that in front of him so that he sees it, picks it up, and then warps back to this middle area.
He does a heavy lifting for us.
And just like that, I have saved a bunch of time. That is a really clever time saver.
It takes almost a minute to get that piece of cheese all the way around without messing up, versus a 10-second warp.
Yeah, it's really nice to be able to do that.
And coming up, if you don't mind, I would like to explain the Phantom Door, because I've actually been hypothesizing a skip that could work. And we can't do it here. I haven't been tasking it yet, but coming up, you'll see the last C chart and a really big door that we can't do anything with yet, because we don't have the Phantom Sword. However, it has been found that if Link could gain any speed while running against it, even just as low as 1.2x, he could just clip through and go straight to the final boss. My theory setup for potentially getting through would be using the grappling hook on that chest and the tablet up there, and using a bomb boost to give Link enough speed to run through it. Because Link with any type of higher speed in Phantom Hourglass is actually broken. And it's known the load zone is behind there.
We are done with the hardest visit of Temple of the Ocean King.
Yep. And now it is time to go and, well, you see, coincidentally or not, whatever you want to believe, this was the last Zelda game to have a hammer in it. And, well, I think the second half of the game is going to explain why that is.
Oops. Was it dizzy?
Oof. It happens. Anywho, we've got a couple golden currents to go get.
There.
Well, friends, if you excuse me for just a second, I'd like to let you know that we have a couple sentences. If you didn't know, if you just came over, we're having a marathon over here. We have a couple incentives if you would like to make some randomizers players' lives a bit harder. We have an incentive for $400 if you choose your incentive on the donation website. And if we reach this incentive, of course, we'll make this a link to the past randomizer race a lot harder for the runners in question in a couple of hours. So that and a couple of other bid wars, of course, if you'd like to check them out.
I was about to ask if that guy was with us for a second.
Yeah, so this section of the run is the scariest section of the run. First off, this sailing section, we have to go through a couple pirates, and
They can
Pirates
kill you
can hit us
very
a lot,
quickly.
and yeah, it's very easy to die in this section. But then not only that, but at the end of all of this, we have the hardest trick in the run. Now that we are in the second half of the run, this is where the glitches start coming. The first half was mostly movement and optimization and everything. This part is where it gets really cool.
We have a frame-perfect wrong warp coming up that saves several minutes off of playing the game normally.
It's very cool. But it's also a very hard trick being frame perfect. And
Okay,
the
I
other thing
completely
about
forgot
this
a link
is
between
we don't know how it
and
works.
Yeah, I'll throw a theory into the hat for how it works, but I don't make any guarantees that it's the right one. Anywho, here's Golden Kermit number 3. His name is Lewis.
I got that. I blanked on which button I was supposed to hit there.
How to get the sun key, whatever it's called. Oh yeah, speaking of that, in the bottom right of that big room in that cave, there is just a sun key chest just sitting there. If we could ever get linked up on that wall, we could literally skip so much more of the game. If we could get that,
I think we could
and the
skip
fabled
beating the
door
Wind
skip,
Temple.
you could. If you could do
We
that,
would unfortunately need to still go and get bombs in it, but we could
Yeah.
presumably skip the rest.
if you could do that and get the door skip, then you could get runs under 2 hours.
So now
It is time.
it's time. I've been dreading this for the entire run. Well, I have to go and set up a little bit first. Just setting up so that in case I don't get it first try, which is very likely that I won't get it first try.
I want everybody in chat to send Hornlitz all the good RNG you can, all the power. Turn this into one of those
It's not
epic
really
anime
RNG, but it
moments.
is hard.
Turn this into one of the moments where all side characters share their energy with the main character. Also, here's those pirates again. Horn was
Yeah,
not
this is
wrong.
the
These guys are
second set of
very
pirates.
dangerous. These
And
guys
this
will
one's
ruin
actually a
your
little
day.
bit frustrating because we also have to deal with these with that
Hurricanes.
there. Ah!
Oh no!
I've never had this happen before.
It
Well, to
barely
be fair,
clipped your
this is a-
hitbox.
It's okay. It doesn't actually lose that much time compared to. Oh, hey, Courage Gem.
Nice. Maybe this will give you
Nice, well-
courage to do the glitch.
That's an interesting way to lose time.
It barely clipped the hitbox, but here we go. Everybody's sending their...
All right, so I'm gonna after I leave this island, I'm gonna do a save warp, and that's what I'm going to, or a save, not a save warp. I'm just gonna save. And then at this point, here is the glitch. Hopefully, if I can get this correct. No, I had the right frame the first time. Okay.
We're
I
looking
wasn't
for a
sure.
very specific frame where a white line in the ocean distance lines up in such a way. And from there, it's really hard to explain what really does happen. I'll try my best, though, after this.
Alright, let's try that. This might be a frame early, but we'll see. I think I'm good, actually.
Oh yeah, you gotta be right on the money. So the best way to explain this is, while
Nice.
Horn is going to do a few more warps. Basically what we did there was we were looking for a very specific position that, by doing the warp where we do, it just kind of sort of offsets everything and the game kind of freaks out.
Right now, we're not even on the map.
Right now we're doing one more warp, and this offset position is going to skip us past that big cyclone we need the Regal Necklace for. However, we're not exactly in a playable state right now. However, by going and salvaging, it'll put us right where we need to be.
Wait a second.
AKA... Wait, what? Where are we? What'd we do?
I have never. What?
What? That's not supposed to happen. We're supposed to be behind the cyclone.
I have literally never. I've never seen that. I don't know what just happened.
Me neither.
I guess I gotta do the glitch again, but.
If you're wondering what happened there, we were basically outside of all 4 coordinates, even though we should have been back inside.
Maybe?
Yeah, you look a little closer to the hurricane this time, and I'm wondering, if what's causing this is if we pause on the same frame the hurricane is supposed to suck you in, and that's what causes the displace.
Yeah, you definitely have to warp the same frame you get sucked into that thing, but I almost wonder if there's like some weird subpixel issue going on there, because I had a bit of a different angle there than I normally would have.
Yeah. Hopefully this is it this time.
You should see me appear inside the ring on the top screen. Yeah, there I am.
Yes! And now we have to just do the salvage, and then exit it to put the game back in a playable state. Want to make a safety save?
Sail to the islands.
Yep.
I'm a little upset about that, because I have no idea what happened there.
Well, hey. It could have been worse. Look at it like that.
Funny thing is, I'm still saving time over my PB on this split because of just how hard the trick is.
Be our best guess for that glitch is it's just subpixel and mechanic shenanigans.
Not necessarily
no actual explanation.
But yeah, like I might have just, I guess, been a little bit off because like the angle I took towards the cyclone was a little different than I usually get, so maybe that had something to do with it, but maybe.
Like we said, there's no real explanation for this, so take what we say with a grain of salt. It just works. And you're coming up as an island that just really made me start to dislike this game as a kid. Like, I like it now, but as a kid at this point, I was just like, last temple. And then I can go beat Big Evil Squid Man.
Oh, I guess we should probably explain what that glitch I just did skips.
Oh, I can knock that out. So basically, there was an island in the top right where you're supposed to get an item that removes the cyclone. Called the Regal Necklace. There's a whole story about this long-lost kingdom or something, and well,
Cobble Kingdom,
just skip it. Anyway, that was a small trick there to skip a good section of this area by using the Ike to give us the suck across the gap. You'll see us bombing these ones to just save a little bit of time over boomeranging them away from us. Anyways, we need to enter that temple in the top left first. This whole island, the gimmick is about changing water level and such. Also, this might be a good place to potentially chug the safety potion.
No, I'm good.
I mean, once we get the hammer, we're invincible, so can't convince me
I'm going to be
otherwise.
grabbing some safety hearts in here, so.
Cool. Dreamer's Temple. We do need to come back here, because guess what? There's a total of 4 unique, very, very big keys in this game that are sat on Link's inventory screen. Makes you wonder why he couldn't just put the big keys in there.
Alright. So yeah, by talking to him, it spawns a
bridge
here that we can just get across.
We get a bridge.
And by doing this, we can go to the next knight of the Cobble Kingdom, who will give us the key that, and then we have to go back to the first king that we were, or first guy that we were just at.
Yep.
And nice, I got a 1-frame roll.
Nice.
Rolling over those gaps, or it's 1 frame. It's totally not worth going for. It does save a frame, but it's not worth going for.
Yeah, if you fail it, you lose several frames. But yeah, so with this key, we can go back and we can drain the water around the island. And with that, we can enter the proper dungeon of this area.
Yeah, this knight is a bit of a prankster, and so he set up his pyramid to have death traps.
Yeah. And somehow a ghost can give us a key. Not surprised, though, this is The Legend of Zelda, so... Although, in this case, it really should be The Legend of Link.
It's true, this is the only Zelda game where Zelda does not appear at all. I think in the opening cutscene, she appears a tiny bit as like a... They basically just explain the story of Wind Waker.
Oh yeah, when Nico does his cute little drawings.
Yeah.
I love those things, like his little...
But aside from that, Zelda is not in the game, unless you count Tetra, but Tetra is Tetra, not Zelda, let's be real.
Can we talk about how Link is I don't mean this in a bad way. He's just being the biggest simp in this game. He is going to the ends of the earth to save Tetra.
Zelda's his friend. Or Tetra, rather. I guess. I don't know.
Well, I mean, they do end up having the Zelda we see in Spirit Tracks in 100 years' time, so... What about Link's Awakening? Oh,
that's true. I forgot that Link's Awakening doesn't have Zelda in it as well. Technically, Majora's Mask doesn't really either. Zelda appears in a cutscene.
Tetra Poggers, when she teaches you how to play the one song.
The Song of Time, yeah.
Sure, she has literally no appearance in that. Yeah, you're right. Things are getting a little hairy here, but we're on our way to the temple now.
Don't worry, I've got lots of health I can get right away.
True. There's one last thing we need to do before entering the temple, and that's opening the door to where we need to put in the sacred mark. I genuinely don't remember how you were supposed to figure that out.
Back, if you see in the bottom right, or bottom left of the map, there's like this huge little, like, the maze thing, like where we did the lake-like trick earlier. Yeah. There are a bunch of stone tablets that you can read that tell you what the path is.
I would have never guessed that. I would type in YouTube titles very specifically, like Phantom Hourglass, Sacred Door, by Max's Temple. Like, I was so stupid specific about it. Anyway, this is Max.
Shout outs to Max.
Not to be confused with the leader of the Shining Force and Shining Force 1 on the Sega Genesis, but Max of the Legend of Zelda series. That's his only appearance ever. You'll never see him again.
Right. Now we have one more door here that we need to draw a pattern on, and this one is weirdly precise.
Oh yeah, it is. It's like you gotta be really careful about it.
Yeah, like I'm not drawing that one super fast because if you don't like touch all of those points specifically, it's not gonna work.
Their sacred symbol is an upside down Burger King crown. Understandable. I like Bacon Kings too. And here come two very fun enemies to deal with. Also, if you're wondering what's happening there, sometimes the sword will actually hit an enemy's hitbox twice. We never explained that.
True, yeah.
Sword mechanics are whack.
An attack in the right orientation, it'll work.
Yeah.
Alright, this is my favorite dungeon in the game.
Temple. Would that happen to be because you also get the most broken item in the game here?
Maybe.
I can't wait to explain everything about it. We've been hinting at it, we've even name-dropped it a few times. But coming up, this dungeon item, I don't know what Nintendo was thinking. I don't think they were expecting players to come here first, with just how long and dangerous this dungeon is, but,
It's not long, it takes so little time.
Okay, that was before
Never mind
we
the
found
fact I'm skipping half of it.
Anyway,
right, here we're doing a save quit. Yeah.
It's way faster than running back, and it resets the cycle of the room.
Yeah, there's some moving platforms, and it resets the cycle on them so that we can just do this really quickly.
Yep. Ooh, sorry about that, yawn.
Oh, no worries, it's getting late.
I will make it through to the end of this funny Zelda boat game.
Oh, I was supposed to switch to that, okay.
That is
one cool thing about... One cool thing about the items in this game is that you can switch items without actually pausing the game, and it's really fun.
Yeah.
To, like, switch items in a roll and not lose any time. It's really satisfying.
That's what makes me wish we had some sort of, like, Savage Labyrinth in Phantom Hourglass. Being able to, like, just use Link's full arsenal on the fly like that would have been so cool.
Yeah. Alright, so we're coming up on the hammer, which is absolutely the most broken item in the game.
I'm not saying it's coincidence that this is one of the last games that had a major role in, but the second half of this run is literally hammer time.
It really is. We use it everywhere.
This hammer literally sequence breaks an entire island, cuts a dungeon in half, and trivializes certain enemies.
Alright, that was a pretty solid first part of the dungeon.
Canis Samaria. Now, let's look at the ocarina from Minish Cap. Let's talk about that for a minute, how broken that is. Anyway, so the hammer, it can press worn-out buttons, it can one-shot a lot of enemies, it can move tiles, it can stun phantoms, it can bounce Link up real high. It's the newest member of the DK crew.
Alright, so right away we are coming up to 2 real cool glitches in quick succession, one of which is a new glitch that wasn't around the last time I ran this.
This is called a hammer clip, where you essentially pause buffer the hammer over a wall, typically to hit a switch or do something else. And the second one involves unloading a door.
Nice, very
nice.
quick.
By scrolling the camera far enough, the game / the DS will unload certain things to free up resources. That door is the very first thing to go. And now we've skipped over half of the dungeon by doing that.
Yeah, it saves a ton of time.
This dungeon goes from being well over almost 15, 16 minutes to like just a little under 10.
Also, the fun thing about that trick is that because it cuts out so much of the dungeon, there are actually some tile puzzles in this dungeon that have like very specific solutions that are kind of hard to remember.
And we don't need to remember any of them.
We don't need to do that anymore, just because we can skip all of them.
Also, shoutouts to the second reverse door in the game. Let's go. That's the last time we'll see those fellas.
Pretty much, yeah.
Make sure to love and respect them. Also, this using big boulders mechanic totally didn't come back in Spirit Tracks. No, not at all.
Can't tell if you're being facetious just because I don't remember.
Oh, they brought them back. You move them with the sand wand. And you don't get to, somehow Link lost his ability to push them. And there's the big key. I've been wondering, where are we taking this? Well, the door's right down here. I wasn't kidding when I said we skipped over half of this dungeon.
Yeah, we only spend, ultimately, the time we spend outside of the boss in this dungeon is about 4 minutes. Yeah, about 4 minutes.
Also, that's the power of the hammer. From what I could calculate, it does as much damage as a spin from the Phantom Sword on the enemies it can hit. Also, after this boss, we're unironically in the late game.
I kind of say the late game is... Well, I guess the late game is like the second half.
Fair enough.
Alright.
Here we go.
So this boss is pretty fun. I'm gonna grab extra health just because I had a run recently that died to this boss, and that lost a lot of time.
Ouch. Yeah, because we don't bring up the re-entry portals outside the rooms. It takes too much time. This is Eox.
Nice, I got the good luck at the start.
You want him to... You're really hoping he just does a lot of slam attacks.
So we have to hit all of these little pegs, but you want to get rid of the one that's on the top of this guy's head. Or that's on the back of his head, sorry. First, because it's the hardest one to actually hit.
Yeah. The hitboxes on this are kind of iffy sometimes.
Alright, and by doing that, I don't have to go behind him anymore. I've hit all of the ones that you have to hit on the back.
And as you saw, that slam did a whopping 1 heart of damage, and we still don't have a whole lot of heart containers.
Alright, and just like that, that's... that part, I just need to hit these.
The switches that break apart his skeleton.
Right, that was a really good first phase.
Yeah. Are you going to be able to get the one cycle here or nah?
Oh, hopefully. I have enough bombs. I.e., I have bombs.
The one cycle here is what's considered a boss quick kill. We're doing a specific amount of hits, and then we're going to bomb ourselves so we don't get thrown off. And then we're going to rinse, and boom.
Yeah, that was a really good boss.
Yeah, that's the second dungeon. Could have had a little bit of
better luck, but that's... Yeah, I'm satisfied with that boss.
5th dungeon. Long way to go for the wand again. I've heard those cutscenes are not to be missed.
Oh, those cutscenes are great.
They are amazing. If you guys haven't donated, you should totally go to that link in the description and donate. Help us raise money for Panic One, the amazing charity.
Right, and here is King Muto himself.
Yep.
And he's going to bless us with this medal, which we will use for our sword.
Sorry, just getting a little teary-eyed thinking about that charity we're raising money for, because cancer is just a monster.
All right,
and I'm not going to get all sad on you. Almost.
So that was
saved
I
almost a minute.
golded both splits in the dungeon. So that was the best dungeon I've ever done, or at least probably outside of IL.
This is where I have to expose you. We had a pre-run call. He told me he was going to plug in tasks whenever he pleased. Sorry, guys. I just had to expose him. This man's a task. Wow, look at this task. It's doing so good. Making the most optimal movement choices.
Right, now, as soon as I cancel this, we're just going to get eaten up by this tornado.
And Lineback is going to be like,
that.
yeah, Lineback's like, yo, maybe we got to find a way through that. Because he's just a little sequence broken there, but it's all fine now.
Alright, so the next island that we're going to is Goron Island. The cool thing about this, the second half of this game, is you can actually do the dungeons in whatever order you want.
Yeah.
For us, we do it Muto's Temple, Goron Temple, and then Temple of Ice, just because the item we get in Muto's Temple will save time in both of the other dungeons, and then the item we get in Goron Temple will save time in Ice Temple.
Yep. Coming up is a mini-boss where we're literally just stuck. This is the one boss that would force... Like, say you were doing a no-damage speedrun, this boss would get you doing it.
Yeah, no damage was already not possible because of the very start when you go into Temple of the Ocean King to rescue Lineback. You have to take at least a quarter heart of damage at the start and then more later, so it's impossible there. But then this also is another point where you need to take damage.
Yep. No matter what.
Or rather, there's just no way to avoid it.
Anyway, I don't even know the name of this boss. I don't even feel like looking internally for it. We're gonna call it Bubba J.
Fisheye or something, I don't know.
Okay, Fisheye is too simple. We gotta call him Bubba J.
So yeah, unfortunately this boss is really luck-based. I got 3 hits actually, that's really good. 3 hits before it turns around is really good. This boss is very luck-based, so...
None, you might be screaming, why are you not shooting? Partially because the cannon's dumb, but also because you want to take out one side at a time, usually. This boss.
Yep, this is gonna take at least 3 cycles. I've never gotten 2 cycle.
I don't even think Shasta got it. I think he got a 4 cycle in the world record run.
I think Ben Stevens has gotten a 2 cycle once.
I think that might have been
super rare.
Yeah. I said I think the 2 cycle might have been in Ben's 100% record.
Potentially.
I didn't watch that though. Auto scroller boss fight. Oh, Spear Tracks has plenty of those. Don't worry.
Come on. There we go. Okay.
Nice.
That was getting a little nerve-wracking because there were so many enemies. That's one reason that this is a really hard boss to do fast, is because there's so many enemies in the way that you actually just can't aim at the boss's eyes.
Yeah. Anyway, remember how I said the hammer breaks the game? And specifically sequence breaks a whole island, chat? This is one of them. The devs sort of left a button you were meant to press after beating this island's temple. They didn't anticipate you coming with a hammer and sequence breaking basically the whole island and going straight into the dungeon.
Well, so we have to do something first though, because if we just beat the dungeon right now, we'll actually soft lock the game.
That is true.
Basically,
we do need to talk to everybody.
We won't be able to get out of the island, so yeah, we need to talk to all of the Gorons, aside from the chief and the chief's kid.
Because we do need to set the sequence in a certain way. Because when we come out, we do need to do the Goron quiz.
Best part of the run.
You're normally, yeah. Because that'll reset the sequence. And put it to where we can leave the island with the pure metal. And Goron Kid will forever be lost in the maze. Basically, these Gorons you need to talk to all of them, and then they're also going to give you info for a quiz you have to take. The quiz, you can memorize all the answers, but I think it pulls from, a pool of 8? Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's a little different than that. I'll explain it once we actually get to that point in the run after the dungeon.
Yeah. Also, this dungeon has some very nice breaks in it too, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Our old pal Bomb Shoes. You thought getting to control Boomerang's exact movement was busted. Well, wait till you see what we get to do with the Bomb Shoes.
Yeah, Bomb Shoes were pretty recently broken by was it TLoZ or was it Solidified Gaming? I can't remember.
I didn't see anything on TLoZ's channel about that sort of thing, so I'm gonna guess
Might have
it'd be
been Solidified. But
also, gotta let you know now.
Really cool.
Yeah, I'm not super studied up on these last 2 temples, but I know everything about the final temple, the Ocean King visit. But I will commentate what I do know. So let's make these last 2 dungeons.
I'll be able to commentate these anyways. We got some really cool stuff.
Yeah, like I know some of it. I just you might be better at explaining certain things.
Here's the one treasure chart we have to get. We unfortunately have to get this one because it doesn't count as interacting with that Goron until you actually do that little side quest thing.
Also, wait a minute. They're called mappas. Can't call it a treasure chart, you gotta call it a mappa. And now the sequence currently is set in such a right way.
Quite honestly, the easiest sequence break in the game.
Probably in any Zelda game, actually.
It's so easy.
You just... Bam, we're in the next dungeon now, let's go.
Alright. So this dungeon is pretty fun. We got a cool little pot clip here, which just saves a tiny bit of time. And then if you thought one pot clip was enough, well, too bad, because we've got pot clip number 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
That one saves like 2 seconds. But that one's also, the second one is completely free, so it's no reason not to go for it.
Yeah. Also, shoutouts to our boy Electric Choose, the only Zelda they appear in. So these guys, we killed them.
I think, are they not in Wind Waker as well?
They're not. Actually, wait, they are, but they're light blue. They're cyan. These guys are indigo. So anyways, what we were waiting for there was we disabled the Armos statue on top of the switch, and now this one wants us to disable them to open this door.
Wait, do I have enough bombs? I forgot to check how many bombs I have. 2. Okay, well.
More than enough.
No, it's not, but it will be enough. I'll switch to that right now. Yeah, I realistically should have gone and picked up more bombs, but...
Hey, it happens sometimes. And that was a very easy enemy fight. Like I said earlier, the hammer does a crap ton of damage.
Yeah, we're going to be using the hammer for most of the enemies in this this dungeon.
If it's not our sword, it's the hammer.
Pretty much.
Who's this? Who's this kid?
Oh yeah, this is Gongon.
How does he know us?
We totally know this guy. We've met him so many times before.
Apparently we're brothers. According to him, we're Goron brothers, but that doesn't make sense. Also,
I
fun fact.
Did the Goron quiz.
Yeah. Fun fact, that's Cole Quill. That is a guy I haven't heard from in years.
Oh,
wow.
Hey, Cole.
Cole has come out of retirement to say hello.
Cole was the old any % world record holder a long time ago when I first started running this game.
Nice. He used to do Spear Tracks runs too.
Indeed.
This man's a veteran.
Oh. This way.
Now, these guys can be annoying if you ever have a shield during any playthrough. They will eat it. However, you can get it back if you kill them fast enough. Also, as a kid, it took me forever to figure out that Goron could jump. Also, nice! Even more time save.
I put a lot of practice into the end game here.
Nice.
Over the last little while, so hopefully I'll be able to save a lot of time.
I think you'll do just great.
Oh, this is ugly. Okay.
Nice.
That was a weird position for that last guy.
Yeah. It happens, though. Enemies can be more unpredictable than the game itself sometimes.
Alright, here we've got a fun little hammer clip that saves using a bomb shoe. It doesn't actually save too much time, but...
It saves us from having to draw the whole thing for the bomb shoe, like the whole path, letting it go.
Yeah, it's a bit of a risky one to go for, because if you kill all of the little enemies here, it actually spawns a chest, which wastes even more time. But yeah. I got it pretty quickly, so that's nice. And now we've got actually one of the new glitches that was found relatively recently.
Sorry to interrupt, but we are getting rated by a party of 53 from DGod63. Thank you.
Alright, so basically we can lock the camera in place by using a bomb chew and then pressing the button to make it go, opening up the menu, like the Wii U menu, and then in the unpause leg after you close it, you open up the collection screen, and it will, or is it the collection screen? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the collection.
And then
screen.
it'll lock the camera in place, and you'll see it used here again to hit both of these switches.
Which cuts out a lot of time in the dungeon. Just getting to lock the camera wherever we want.
We're going to use the boomerang here to hit both of these switches. World's longest boomerang throw.
Yeah.
And just like that, we've skipped basically the entirety of the dungeon, and especially this floor.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm really happy about that find.
This floor can be really monotonous and really wear a runner down late into the game.
I'm really glad I wasn't running this game back in like 2013, because in 2013 the strategy for this dungeon was there's actually another glitch that we don't use anymore because it's slower, but in one of the last rooms in the game, or in this dungeon, actually it's this room, it's just in the northern part of this room, you can do this weird glitch where you kill yourself and start moving a statue on like the same frame, get revived by a potion, and then if you do that all correctly, you'll be like remote controlling the thing, and then you can bring it all the way in front of the boss key door, and you can push yourself through it. So it's another boss key skip, but it was really hard, and it was awful. But they found ways to
improve it and make it better.
Circumnavigate that and make it, yeah, basically getting the boss key is now faster than skipping it. So that's cool.
Yeah. So here's the 6th boss fight of the game. Yoshi's cousin, aka Dodongo. What you have to do is you have to use Gogoron to knock him down, put bomb chews in his mouth, and then we think he's dead, but then when Link gets over there, we actually have to solo him with bombs, and it becomes a pretty long process, but there is a way to kill him pretty quickly.
Right, that's 2 hits, and we have 1 more hit to go.
Yep. The last explosion opens up his weak spot. Obligatory with every Zelda boss, they're required to have a weak spot if they are to face Link in battle.
I got this fight without getting charged at all.
Yeah, well, that's pretty good.
This guy first. That's pretty lucky, honestly.
It is. And later, in Spirit Tracks, this duo mechanic would be heavily revised for even cooler things. Shoutouts to Nintendo reusing code for a good thing. Oh, did I just say Nintendo reuses code? Never. They would never do that. Never. No. Not as though Mario Galaxy 2 is literally just Mario Galaxy more or anything. No.
Hey, speaking of shoutouts, sorry for interrupting again. Don't mind me, just a random stranger here. Thank you so much for the raid you got, and for everybody coming in, welcome to the ZeldaSpeedRuns Marathon 2021. We would just like you to know that we have a couple incentives as well as a couple other bid wars going on. If you would like to check that out, you can check that out. Everything on this link in chat right now. Along the lines, we have one coming up very soon. That is the all cutscenes for the One of Gamelon. Trust me, you want to see them. We're a few ways about it, but if we can contribute now, we can probably get that going soon. And of course, it doesn't matter which you choose. There are a couple other stuff going on as well. Every single donation, of course, will go directly to Panquan's cause against cancer. So thank you so much for supporting choosing here to raid. Just thank you very much, everybody.
Alright, so if you're wondering what happened there, that was Dodongo Quick Kill using a mix of well-timed spins, slashes, and a few bombs. Horns was able to destroy him in 2 cycles. Very nice.
It was a little iffy. I said earlier that I should have picked up bombs at the start of Goron Temple, and this fight is why. Because I ran out of bombs in this fight, because I only had 1 left. I unfortunately couldn't do the fastest strategy, but I still was able to do it in 2 cycles, so that's perfectly okay.
And that's still really impressive. And that
Fortunately, I will be able to get a lot more bombs later.
Yeah, there's a ton in Anuki Village that we get to pick up. And with that, we have 1 dungeon left before we can forge the Phantom Sword. I have pizza waiting in the fridge after this.
Nice.
I say that as though I already haven't had several slices of it.
Alright, so now if we try leaving the island, Lineback won't let us. So we need to go and do the
has a
quiz.
Lineback is like, yo, you know what? Maybe you should tell them that we have their pure metal. He'll do the same at Inoki as well. He won't let you leave without talking to the village chiefs.
Yeah, we don't need to let him know.
Be like,
Alright.
no, I didn't get it. Let's leave.
So here is the Goron quiz. The first 3 questions are always the same, just in different orders. So there are 14 Gorons on the island. There are 6. Yeah, there are 6 homes on the island. And the Goron at that spot is looking at a ship. And then the next 3 questions are chosen from a bank of 3 questions each. So question 4 has 3 questions it could be. Question 5 is the same, and 6 is the same as well. 7. There's 7 Gorons outside.
I'm so scared. Also, don't get too attached to this money he's giving us.
Shoot, which one is this? It's 4. Nice. Okay.
He's gonna take all of this away from us.
Yeah, it's fun that he gives us 146 rupees throughout the quiz, and then he's just like, and now it costs 146 rupees to become part of the Goron tribe.
And now by having a son...
After beating the dungeon, he gives us 200 rupees, so we do gain money from him in the end. But yeah, that's also one thing we didn't mention is that there were 2 Gongorons.
We have to send his son outside and then talk to him after to set the sequence in such a way that we can leave the island now.
Yeah, so the game will let us leave now.
Lineback will be like, yo, hey, you talked to him, nice. Although Link in the back of his head is like, I cannot tell Lineback this universal.
I always do this. I keep forgetting that there's...
Sign it as egg. The best egg you can write. If this is the one where it has to do the signature. Oh, nice.
There, I drew an egg.
Very nice. That oval shape will be remembered. Hate membership fees. Me too, man. They're a scam.
Right, so now we get to head to the last proper dungeon of the game.
Yep. The Ice Temple. And ice mechanics are not fun in any Zelda at all. Just ask Minish Cap speedrunners. Also, I want to say it now, Horns, you are doing absolutely phenomenal in my opinion. Just as somebody who's watched Phantom Hourglass from the outside, seeing you pull everything off in this marathon has been great, and I cannot wait to see you destroy Bellum here in about half an hour in some odd change.
So this is actually a really hard part of the run. We have a number of enemies that are going to be around us as we're trying to shoot all of these, and we need to be careful to not die while doing this.
And we want to hit all the icebergs in one go around as well. Having to circle back around for any is very slow. However, we do have some leniency on these enemies. They do take forever to get close to the ship. And if needed, we can take 1 or 2 hits.
So yeah, you may have noticed that I haven't been jumping all the time. It's just so that I actually slow myself down a little bit so that I can give myself a little more time to get all of these. I am jumping a little bit though, because there are moments where I will have to wait a little bit.
Yeah. And it's only, what, 3 cannon shots to an iceberg, or is it 2?
2. It's just 2 per.
Just making sure. Always thought it was 3. And the position we're in here should warp us directly in, if not put us extremely close.
It won't quite warp us in because we're not close enough, but the dock is pretty close to us, so it won't take very long. There we go.
I get scared with that sometimes. Like, just that thought that you could be stuck there and the enemies could just hit you before you could retaliate.
Alright.
And here's Lineback getting to fulfill one of his greatest dreams, knowing what it's like to be a piece of ice. Time to talk to Honcho.
Yes, this is the head honcho, the chieftain of this Anuki village.
And we're opening a CIS case.
We need to help him out with a bit of a logic puzzle.
Yep, however, we already know the answer. Top right house.
Nope, it's the top middle house.
Oh, excuse me, I forgot. Well, excuse me, princess.
Make sure you get those donations in for the Wanda Gamelon cutscenes.
Yeah.
I forget if the "Excuse Me, Princess" line is in that game. I know it's in one of them. But...
It's in the cartoon. Excuse me, princess is in the Legend of Zelda cartoon.
Oh,
that was
okay,
made
sorry.
at the same time
I'm
as
uncultured. I'm sorry.
You're okay. It was made at the same time as the Mario cartoon that had Do the Mario.
So right here, we know who the culprit is, who's actually a Uke in disguise, a different being in disguise. But we do have to talk to everyone first, or else it won't let us select who we think it is.
Yeah. Also, thoughts on the Mario movie being made by Illumination?
I'm on board. Like I'm sort of on board with it. Not a fan of the casting choice for Mario, but the rest of the casting choice I'm a little intrigued by.
I'm excited for Jack Black as Bowser.
That's gonna be great.
Anyways, back to Zelda. We've found him, booked him a nice.
Yes, this is the Uke. It was Aru the whole time.
Oh man, who would have guessed? Aru, as though that's not a sound wolf things make. Link,
now this guy's gonna give us
a
nice little present of getting blown out of the house.
Okay, good. I was about to say, I don't want us to get in trouble again. I don't think we really got into trouble. We just got some awkward sideways glance. Also, yes, walking right there does let us get over to the Honcho's house faster. Also, shouts to the Honcho cooking dinner for all of his boys. Look at that.
Quite the chef.
He's cooking dinner for the whole village. Like, what a kind, respectful man. Did I hear chance to ban? No, get out of here. You did not hear anything.
Right.
And now this guy will let us through.
Yep. And in this cave here is where we will be getting most of our bombs back.
Yeah.
Because these two pots right here each drop 3.
And we kind of need bombs for an upcoming thingamabobber.
For this right here, we have to kill
these guys.
Well, I don't think we're technically killing these Uke, despite the fact that they disappear.
I dare say Nintendo might have borrowed this concept from Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story later. Just an enemy that loves to vacuum in everything, you know. Not like the whole gimmick of Bowser's Inside Story was Bowser sucking things into his body. Nothing like that. Anyways, and as you saw, he got... Oh, my bad. Hornlitz got more bombs there, which are going to help out quite a bit in the Temple of Ice.
Yeah, so one cool, or weird, annoying thing about these enemies is that if they are too far off screen when you kill them, their death animation will actually unload, and that doesn't count as them being dead, so that thing will not. So yeah, if you saw me wait a little bit earlier after killing one of them, that's why.
Also, cool little exclusive Link animation right here, and no, I have not seen that Tomo attack. I swear I'm saying your name different every time, I'm sorry. Also, this Uke is actually smirking.
Yeah, this Uke is a little bit luck-based.
Ooh, and now we can enter the Temple of Ice. Also, apparently there wasn't a Nuki just standing around here somewhere that we see when we come out?
Yeah, when we come out. The real Aru is out there.
Apparently Aru is in here. Apparently he just has some Minecraft invisibility potions. Anyways, doing that right there... we have an interesting little trick here that we use to skip having to hit the button in the next room. And it saves a little bit of time.
And yeah, it saves a bunch of time to do that.
Oh my bad, a bunch of time. Are we going to be big shots next? I want to be a big shot, please. Also, that little bomb trick there, I'm trying to remember what you're actually supposed to do there.
As far as I'm concerned, that is what you're supposed to do. That's always how I've done it.
Also, that is the order 1432. Yeah, they finally did it, guys. They got unoriginal enough to use 1432. And also, as you saw, the hammer destroys those armored guys. I have to reiterate, it's the most broken weapon in the game.
Normally, you're not supposed to be able to kill those guys yet. You need the dungeon item in this dungeon to do it, but you can also just use the hammer, which you're theoretically not supposed to have at this point, or it's very unlikely that you would have it.
I think Nintendo's whole thing was just like, they just didn't think anybody would go for it. Like, they left it as an option, but didn't work around that, and that's why we can literally sequence break the entirety of Goron Island.
Alright, now we have this fight. This is actually one of the most annoying fights in the game because we're given a luck-based uke and a non-luck-based uke.
And this can get out of hand very, very quickly. However, making it look like oh dang!
That's
not
not
making it look like child's play out here. Looks like we are saving some time here, though.
Yeah, I will be. Actually, I'll be golding by quite a bit. Well, a few seconds.
Well done. And now that we have the grappling hook, we've truly entered what I like to consider the super late game.
This is
also personally, I think this grappling hook is the better of. It's like it feels like a true upgrade from Wind Waker's grappling hook in a sense. Like, if you made me choose between one of the two, I would say Phantom Hourglass grappling hook any day. Are the dungeon floors and walls the same texture patterns with different colors? It looks like it.
Potentially, yeah. I haven't looked at them closely enough to know for sure.
It looks like it could be palette swaps. That is what Temple of the Ocean King is. It is palette swaps and color changes. I can confirm that with 100% certainty.
We have another little unintended hammer boost. Actually, no, that might be intended.
It could be.
I can't think of how else you're supposed to get across there.
Maybe they could have just let Link, like, throw bombs onto us, which that would have been interesting.
Right, we got another hammer clip here.
Yep, going after us. Going after the big one.
This is an annoying hammer clip, but little shortcut here.
Because screw the ice physics. The less time we're on ice, the better. Another little thing involving our boy, Mr. Ham. Also, as you saw, we cannot be looking at that eye. Or we can be, my bad, sorry.
Yeah, no, actually those eyes, they have to be on screen for them to activate.
Oh, and you kept it just barely.
So
Makes
yeah.
sense.
Right
also,
here,
you'll see... Oh, sorry, you can explain it.
This one is a timer based. It pulls out as long as you as long as you want, and then it moves in slowly, and it's a timer. So I have to get through a certain door pretty quickly here.
Yep. Also, thank you, Roo Slugs, rating with a party of 11. Sounds like a Roo has brought the boys in.
All
Here's
right.
another hammer clip.
This one works differently than the rest. I buffer that. I used to do that one unbuffered, like perfectly unbuffered, and it was so bad. But then I just was like, you know, what if I try buffering this? And now it's 100% consistent.
Nice. That's what I'm actually doing for a glitch in Spirit Tracks Sunday, the Ocean Temple glitch. You can do it unbuffered, but it's safer to do it buffered in a marathon, you know? Very nice kill on the... I almost called it an Inoki. Wow. Very nice kill on the man.
The uke.
The uke. The egg yolk. Something else to learn about the grappling hook right now is Link can jump on it. And by that I mean you push hard enough, he will go flying. Also, very nice and generous restock right there.
On, hit all of them.
Yeah, randomly for some odd reason, the Switch will just be like, nope, I'm a wall now, you can't hit me. I'm the edge collision of this wall, how dare you try and hurt me.
Alright, and we're at the boss key now.
Yep, and we just gotta take it back to the door that we saw on the previous floor.
And then we get to fight the longest boss in the game, other than the final boss.
Yeah, final boss takes forever. At least the first
and
phase.
I guess probably this run's Cuba's Sisters was longer, but that's beside the point.
We just act like Cuban sisters don't exist. This boss is way cooler anyway.
So, for all of you Zelda 1 fans out there, first off, next run is Zelda 1 in this marathon, but also this is Gleeok, which is a boss that was in Zelda 1.
Yep.
And first, that was where the boss first was introduced. Was Zelda 1.
Are you gonna go for like the cool little bomb trick and
Oh,
line it up
absolutely.
and do damage with it? Nice.
Yeah.
What that is it's similar to a quick kill.
It is a quick kill. We actually skip a cycle by doing
nice.
by doing it the way I'm
Yeah,
going to do it here.
I don't think it was explained too well when I was watching Shasta trying to figure things out for myself. But yeah, so
right
watch out
here-
for this ice coming in. It'll do a lot of damage if you let it.
But also, these small ones die or like break in one hit, and they almost always drop hearts, so it's very easy to get a lot of health here.
That's true. It's a double-edged sword almost.
Oh, I'm not paying attention. Ooh,
Oh
that
yeah.
was close.
Ooh, yeah, that was. Once again, I would like to thank everybody who's rated us tonight. It's great seeing so many faces in chat. And remember, if you can, try and donate, because we are trying to hit that Wanda Gamelon incentive. You want to see those cutscenes. They are something to behold. They are true beauty.
Dare
The
I
fact
say
that
the
the-
best cutscenes in any video game.
The fact that Nintendo never tried to recreate them, honestly disappointing. I will go to Shigeru Miyamoto's house and fight him in Smash and get wait, not Sans added to the game. I will get those cutscenes added to Smash.
Alright, so now that the
Toby.
first phase is over, the first phase is pretty self-explanatory, but for the second phase, there's actually a quick kill that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to do so much damage to the first head that it's actually going to jump straight into like the next cycle. Unfortunately, I
game's
got the
gonna-
worst luck there, but I'm going to throw a bomb shoot. Actually, this is bad.
The game is literally going to.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Philly.
That's okay. I can just wait for the next head here and do the quick kill. I switched to the wrong item, which unfortunately wastes too much time.
Yeah, the game just kind of gets freaked out here.
Yeah, so right there, I
Yep.
instantly basically killed the one head there. The head is still alive, but it made the death sound. And
Yep.
basically, yeah, by doing a bomb explosion, a small hammer hit, and a big hammer hit, that does so much damage that it just instantly kills that one head of the boss. I'm still going to have to do one more cycle because it gets healed a little bit, I guess, because it didn't expect you to be able to do that much damage.
I think a big hammer hit is the equivalent of a spin attack from a fully flame-powered Phantom Sword. That's just a wild guess. I would have to actually look at the game's HP values. I know all the ones for Spirit Tracks, and it's kind of interesting. It goes in multiple 2 and I'm gonna guess Phantom Hourglass would probably be the same.
Yeah, so I have to do the same hit there, but then for this last one, the boss literally was dead, and it just got revived for this second phase, so I can literally just poke it with a sword, and it's dead.
You could honestly probably poke it with the boomerang, and that would do enough damage.
I
yeah,
think the boomerang would probably just stun it, but yeah.
That is the final main boss. All that's left is the final boss, chat.
Alright. And I'm actually
Well-
going to be skipping this heart container because I don't need it anymore. It would just be a waste of time.
Also, that's a fancy door for a fancy item. We saving time here from the looks of it?
Yes, I will be saving time over my PB.
Well done. How did your final Temple of the Ocean King go slaughtering the phantoms?
Unfortunately, everything went very well except for Bellum Ship, but Bellum Ship is luck-based, so...
That's true. You could pull ahead there a little bit. And hey, you're not always going to be able to PB. That's life.
No worries. I know you probably... I don't believe you can see my splits on the screen, but I'm only 17 seconds behind my PB.
Oh, I can
so...
see them.
Oh, you can. The rest of the
Yeah.
viewers.
Oh. Well, chat, I can tell you he is doing his absolute best.
Pronouns are she, her, by the way.
I am so sorry, Horn. Like,
Oh,
I
what
remember
am I
that.
doing? I don't need to...
It just
it's alright.
It's just
Sorry.
up to the tummy.
I accidentally talked to the chief, so I guess I told the chief that we stole his his medal.
I mean, to be fair, I chose my pronouns to be him, he, him, egg. Egg is unironic.
Island.
Yep, we have to make. Imagine you go all the way to the bottom of the Temple of the Ocean King without the Phantom Sword. Somebody has to have done that.
I'm pretty sure people. Yeah.
Like your own world record pace, and you get down there without your Phantom Sword.
I don't think I ever did it when I was on world record pace, but I specifically have a split in my splits file called Phantom Sword just to remind myself to get it.
Yeah. We have a lot of splits like that over at our turf. A lot of games actually have that sort of thing. Yeah, I've done it. Ben's done it. I'm sorry to hear that, Cole. That is the fattest of L's. Or was it Jason? I don't know what Jason. I know you and Ben. That's it. Horns is still a complete stranger to me. Kidding.
Alright, now, actually, right here, we have to go and get a letter here, because we have a letter from Jolene.
Mm-hmm. She wants to fight.
Also, I'm gonna give a proper signature. I kind of forged the last one, but I'm gonna put my actual name here. Nice. Rewrite it. What was it? Alright, there we go. Spent a little bit of extra time, but I wanted to get the signature to be the file name here.
Of course. I just thought it would be a little funny thing to throw in. Anyway, so now we're forced to fight Jolene, but after doing that, the blade of the Phantom Sword is ready. Once that's done, we just run it to Grandpa, and then after that we have the Phantom Sword, and we go kill the Phantoms, and then the game ends.
So we haven't really talked about version differences much in this run, but this right here is actually one of the big version differences between English and Japanese. So right now in English, they changed how Jolene works in English, and so in the Japanese version, Jolene actually right at this point in the game spawns right next to Zhao's island, so we can just go and confront Jolene right away, and it wastes like no time at all. But in the English version that doesn't work, so we have to save warp to put Jolene in a consistent spot, and then sail towards her, and then save warp after that, which ends up costing about like 1.5 to 2 minutes. I forget what the exact time is.
It's about 2 minutes, and you might be asking, why don't we run the whole game in Japanese? It's because our Regal Necklace skip does not work in the Japanese release for some reason.
Yeah, because they also, another thing that they changed in the English version is they actually added a second half to the every warping cutscene. In Japanese, you see the cutscene of you warping away, but then it just immediately puts you on the sea. It doesn't have the second half of that cutscene.
Yeah. What is it with US versions of games making things longer than they have to be?
Right, we have our second fight with Jolene here, and
the hammer just trivializes it.
Well, it doesn't really trivialize it. It just gives us a bit of distance between her so that she can't attack us as much.
Also, now, she's not done yet.
Careful with this, because it's actually apparently possible to soft lock the game when you're using the hammer in this fight. If you're using the hammer with Jolene at the bottom of the screen, there's a chance she can clip out of bounds, apparently. I've never seen it happen, but I remember back in, I think, 2016, Ben Stevens, another runner of this game, had that happen on a world record pace run or something. And, yeah, lost the run this late in it because of that.
Yeah. Also, thanks for checking that out for a Shy Crystal. So it turns out a giant hammer has 8 points of damage and a Phantom Sword, like not even fully powered, just regular as 1. We're going to Zhao's, so quick save exit will put us there.
Yeah.
Also, Lineback was telling us the story of how he and Jolene got together. Basically, he saved her life by pure accident, but then didn't feel worthy of her.
And then he stole all of her gold.
He just looked at all of her money and was like, "That'll buy me a couple of pizzas." And he stole all of it.
All right, so
Also,
now that
yes,
we've done all of that, ZSRMarathon has finished the first half of the Phantom Sword. Unfortunately, we can't use it because it doesn't have a handle or a hilt yet.
And
So we need to go to
gives us one.
we need to go to Oshus. Who did we even reveal that Oshus is the temple or is the Ocean King?
Oh yeah,
Forget if we
plot
said
twist. That old guy who gives you a sword is the king of the ocean, and he's gonna make the Phantom Hourglass and the Phantom Blade do a fusion dance from Steven Universe, and they're gonna become the Phantom Sword.
You learn about that plot twist before the ghost ship, so
Yeah.
it's been a little while since we learned that plot twist.
Yeah, about a whole hour and 20 minutes. Yeah, so we're gonna see a funny Steven Universe fusion dance, guys. Let's go.
Well, we actually aren't because I'm going to skip the cutscene.
Alright, well, it happens off screen. Can you believe it? Character development happening in that show off screen? What?
Alright.
Save a person and steal their booty. In more ways than one. Although I'd imagine, with how the game ends with Lineback becoming a better person overall, I could see him going back and apologizing to Jolene and making things right. Because maybe he feels worthy for her after what he does. Oh yeah, there's a grandpa out there because of how we broke sword trading. Don't worry about him, he's just a figment of your imagination.
Actually, a funny story about that. Right after this, the training sword skip was first found, I was trying an 100% run, and I did that trick. But doing that trick puts, that guy out there right there. And there's actually a collectible just beyond him underneath the tree that's right to the right of him.
Oh.
And you cannot get there in 100 or if you do that. And so it literally made 100% impossible.
So you cannot do sword trick on Hundo. Dang.
You cannot do the sword training skip on Hundo. Yep.
Alright, also check that out. Lineback and Celia have character development. Wow.
Mostly just Lineback.
Yeah. Shoutouts to Lineback. If it wasn't for him, Link would actually die in this game.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Lineback becomes the hero in the end. A hero.
Alright.
Yes.
So now it's time for our final descent into the Temple of the Ocean King. We are able to use this midway point to just jump down to into the point between floors 6 and 7. And then we get to just run through the rest. But we also have so many more items that it's a lot faster now.
Mm-hmm. And we're about to murder these phantoms.
Oh, and also with the Phantom Sword, we're actually able to kill phantoms now. That's a new thing that you will see me do a few times.
First thing we're doing is we're cutting across here and getting our first gem. Also, is my voice still coming through okay? Because your game audio's coming out a little distorted.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm sure just give it a minute and it'll catch
weird.
back up.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. It's coming out
might
fine
just
for
be
me, but...
Okay, it might just be for Discord. Don't sweat it.
Alright, now right here, there is a hammer clip we can do, but it's really inconsistent for me, so I'm just gonna use the bomb chew here to hit this switch.
Yeah, might as well play it safe. We're right here at the end of the run.
Yeah, ultimately the hammer clip only saves like 5 seconds tops, so it's...
Alright, yeah,
it
audio's fine now. No worries, guys.
Okay.
It's just on Discord. He's streaming it on Discord as well for those of us who were in here in the commentary channel. It was just buzzing for a second. It's all fine now, though. And anywho, we get to murder this man.
Oh shoot, that's not good.
Oh boy.
Could have been worse. At least the guy didn't see me.
Oh yeah, we're actually gonna avoid killing him because it spawns in the chest.
Yep.
And now we get to Cheese getting the last pedestal.
Actually, I don't think this is... There's no cheese involved here. This is just how you're supposed to do it for the second time through.
I have to appease the Wallace and Gromit fans, alright? Yeah, whatever audio thing it was doing, it just sounded like it was tearing a bit on Discord. It's all good now.
Okay. Also, we can use the this thing to grab both of them at the same time and save a little bit of time.
Yep. This is what I was mentioning earlier when I said there was a more powerful method of making Link pick things up. And now, we get to essentially, basically just skip most of the last 3 floors. The 3rd floor is the only one we have to do in full, really. This first one, it's way easier than the first time we were here. Then the 2nd floor of this last section, we just cut through that whole puzzle we did with the bridges very easily.
Alright, yeah. So now that we have bomb shoes, we can easily just hit these switches to speed up this room a lot.
Yep. And now we're just casually... Would that be a hit and run for a Phantom by technicality right there?
I guess we did hit the Phantom and then we're kind of running away.
Yeah. Also, shoutouts to Bomb Shoes, my beloved.
Oops. Wasn't supposed to jump off there.
It happens. Now we just bomb these walls that somehow magically regenerate when we leave the temple.
I forget. I need hammer. Okay.
Yeah, because you're going to be jumping over the wall.
Yep. So floor 11 was kind of annoying the first time through. The second time through, we're done.
Yep. And remember, this is the end of the run. You guys are coming up on the final bosses. Next up is Zelda, and if you want to see Wanda Gamelon all cutscenes, make sure you get that incentive hit. Want to see those cutscenes? They are something to behold.
Alright, so similarly in this floor, we don't want to kill all of the phantoms because that will spawn a chest.
Yep.
So I'm going to leave that one alive.
And also, we can make the red phantom do our bidding this time around because we can open these spikes.
Oh yeah, we don't even need the red phantom to carry anything for us this time.
True. I thought you were just going to do the old strat of making it bring it to the corner and then murdering it.
I guess I haven't really used... Oh, wow, that missed. It's not a big deal. I can just get back in here, but it wastes a little bit of time.
It's not the end of the world.
Oh, come on. Turn around.
This guy
please.
just doesn't want to die.
Oops.
And now coming up, y'all remember that last room? Well, what if I told you the game decided to make you kill 9 phantoms in there?
Because that's what they did.
The game is like, it's your turn to rip and tear on these guys now. Anytime I do...
Pull up the Doom music real quick.
Yeah. Anytime I play through Phantom Hourglass, my last run through the temple, I don't use the shortcut. I like to just get everything in one fell swoop. I'll just run through, destroying everything. There is actually a way you can have a full 25 minutes on the Hourglass from start to finish.
Yeah, if you get all of the treasure
Sand
shards.
jars.
Now, right here, in this room, there is actually a strategy where you can just jump down and kill all of them, but that's a really risky strategy, and I haven't practiced it, so I'm not going to be going for it. I'm going to be going for a slightly slower method that's a lot safer, that just grabs this red pot, which spawns a safe spot.
Yeah. It's never explained why these pots exist. These pots are just safe goo, as I like to call it.
I did not realize how quickly that guy would, or how slow that was going to turn around. Anyways, but yeah, if any of these phantoms notice you, it actually starts a cutscene that will show that, oh, this area is being blocked off, and it wastes a lot of time, so that's why you want to avoid having them see you, even if you have the safe spot there.
Yeah. So that's why we quickly run around to just kill these guys in a circle. And now only 3 remain. Warp phantoms do move slightly slower than regular phantoms, if I recall correctly.
I thought it was the same speed, but it might be a little bit slower.
That, and I'm pretty sure their hits take the most amount of time.
About the same.
Oh, I thought it was like
first.
I thought warp phantoms took more time from you if they managed to hit you. Anyways.
Maybe, I'm not sure. But yeah, with that, we're done. We are done with the Temple of the Ocean King. And with that, we just get to head to the final boss.
It is time. Also, RP Prada, I'm not 100% sure. Anyways, Bellum, he has a few... There's phase 1, phase 2, and then his last phase. You have to bow him in the first 2 phases, then the 3rd phase, we freeze time itself. Crazy, I know.
Right here we hit not yet, because it skips a tiny little cutscene.
With all 3 fairies.
Yeah, with all 3 fairies just cheering Link on.
They're like, yeah, you can do it, yeah, woo, go! You got this,
Like, I don't need those fairies to tell me I can do this. I've done this countless times. I know I can do it.
Alright, time to get world record, you got this.
Nah, world record's definitely out of question. PB's out of the question, but that's okay.
This has been a fantastic run, watching through this and commentating, though. Let's end it strong.
Yes, this is the final boss, Phase 1, so this is just regular Bellum. For the first part, we need to take all of these, like, purple... I don't know what these are. We need to grab all of those off, and then we can start doing some damage here.
Yep. You can actually basically infinitely jump slash him here.
Yeah, you can, because I guess Bellum is just barely far enough away that it triggers a jump attack.
It could also be how that Pit of Water's programmed. If you fall in there, Link can actually not get out. He just permanently respawns above it. It's like a full void there, so that might be why he just permanently jump slashes. So anyways, we just gotta snipe them down.
Eyes there.
They're trying to spy on Link's privacy, which isn't okay. He's just trying to read his book. And these little guys can get annoying. I personally call them Bellum's little minions. But I mean, I have a less family-friendly name for them that I won't be saying here. Ooh, that's really good. Getting him stuck like that, that's really good.
Alright, now for this second phase, the Bellum's eyes on his little tentacles there are going to close every once in a while, so you need to... Oh, I missed.
Oh, boomerang! A bow! Oh!
That's why I missed, because I wasn't using the bow.
I don't know why I told you boomerang at the start. I'm just like, what the hell?
No, that's not going to be open, yeah.
Oh yes, Bellum, the final boss you hear about twice and they completely forget about for the whole game. You're not wrong, really. One of the most underhyped final bosses in Zelda. 7 arrows, as long as you don't miss one.
Yeah,
although one of these guys should give you
arrows. Yeah, sometimes these enemies will give you arrow drops. It's really annoying when you have to rely on one, but...
I think the ones that spawn up here give you better odds.
I would hope so, yeah.
At least that's how it seems to be.
I'm trying to keep myself on a certain side of Bellum here because the eyes are on the opposite side, so I can hopefully shoot them.
Yeah.
Not gonna work. Okay.
Nice. Once again, Horn out here doing absolutely stellar. And coming up once
the last arrow that I need to use.
Coming up once we hit this last eye, there's a... Oof.
That's okay. I don't need any more arrows to run, so...
What that little orb is the remaining bit of Celia's power she can get back. Now somehow, she's turned into Pokemon that can stop time. It's just gonna generate little things called Phantom Spheres that you need to use to freeze time to damage Bellum, because he's gonna rampage around the stadium.
Now, fun story about my casual playthrough of this game a long time ago. I thought that when it says you're supposed to draw an hourglass shape to stop time. I thought you were supposed to draw a sideways hourglass shape to stop time, because, you know, that makes sense. You know, the time in the hourglass is stopped, but it wasn't working, and so I got really frustrated.
I would draw the Z hourglass, and it would sometimes count it. Also, infinite jump slashes here for the win. They do so much damage. This can still be two-cycled.
Not quite the best. Yeah, it can be two-cycled. I should still be able to if I do well enough on the second phase here. Or second set of hits. Yeah, there.
Nice! And that is the first part of the final boss done. Very well done. It's the same type of stand as Star Platinum. I don't. Is that a funny JoJo reference?
That's a funny JoJo reference. I haven't seen JoJo, but I know stands are from JoJo.
Holy moly, it's the funny JoJo. Man. Anyways, coming up is the second part of the final boss where Lineback grows a pair.
No, this is, oh, actually, no, you're right. He does get, pretty confident here.
This is where, and I wish they could have modeled it, he's supposed to be, like, behind Link at the wheel while Link's manning the cannon. Like, that's literally what he says, I'll man the wheel, because the engine's dead. He's like, I'll man the wheel when you man the cannon. Which I think, like, if they had modeled him up there, it would have been so cool.
Unfortunately for us, this phase of the boss is utter garbage. It is completely luck-based. Nobody has any idea how the phases work.
Yeah.
We can lose time here, or we can save a lot of time. Yeah.
Sometimes the eyes will randomly take more than one hit. Sometimes you just won't be able to hit them, even if they are hittable.
And it's also very easy to die, which is a very non-zero possibility.
Yeah. I know Jasnick's here when he was attempting to get back into running PH just for fun. He died here 5 times and ended up getting one that was 4 hours.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think the fastest ghost ship I've ever seen, it was done in a task that I watched for playing the game with speed up codes. It was done in like just under a minute.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was insane.
Oh. Please do not do that to me.
I think it's kind of BM that when you kill these eyes, they don't drop the freaking... No! Oh.
It shot 2 at me. There was nothing I could have done.
Yeah.
It's okay. We just have to sail to the ship. I'm annoyed. That was just some of the worst luck I've ever gotten here. Just because there was so much, like, stuff going at me.
This is unironically the time where it is very hard to use the ship to do things. Because you have to micromanage so much here. You gotta watch which eyes are respawning, which ones you haven't killed that are potentially gonna spawn. You gotta watch so many projectiles flying at you at once while not having any health upgrades during the speedrun for your ship.
You don't have any health upgrades. You do have these little pink things that these guys are shooting can drop hearts. And the thing is, they don't even drop them that infrequently. I'm just getting extremely bad luck.
I think it's like a 40% chance upon popping one of the bubbles that you get a heart.
Yeah,
it's pretty high odds. So I'm pretty sure Nintendo understood how ridiculously hard this is.
There we go. I finally got like 1 heart.
Also, yeah, look, here's the cannon just being BS. He's tapping directly on the eyes, but his shots are not going towards them.
Yeah, that definitely hit that. I'm losing so much time here because this is just a terrible boss fight.
It is.
I really wish we could figure out like how to make it at all consistent, but
I could. Maybe the guy who did the task knows something. I could talk to him. He's got a Discord. Or maybe he just re-recorded till he got something he was happy with. I feel like the biggest problem with this is how inconsistent the eyes can be.
Yeah.
And the cannon, too. Like, it feels like the cannon wasn't even made for this kind of fight.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like this fight. Nobody does.
Like, in casual, it's cool, but for a speedrun, this is hell. Oh, I shouldn't have said. Sorry, my bad. This fight's hack. My filter kind of disappeared there. I'm sorry, Chad. Don't hurt me.
There we go. Okay, that's the boss fight.
Time for the true final boss. Who knew that secretly this whole time we were harboring the final boss on our boat? Lineback. Also, you keep telling Lineback, no, you don't want to save.
I don't want to save. I'm good enough at this phase of... Oh, I didn't realize I would only have 3 hearts. That's actually dangerous.
Chop the emergency potion.
You know what? I'm doing it.
I forgive you. Thanks, Clouds. I really didn't mean to say that.
Probably should have waited to do that, but you know what? Whatever.
Better to be safe than sorry.
So yeah,
also,
right
you
now,
can...
Yeah, this first phase is... Or first part here, we have to do that for Sela to... basically realize, like, hey, I can go behind this guy and see when Bellum's eyes open. But then Sela gets caught by Bellum. So we're going to have to start doing something a little different. We're going to have to weaken Bellum's hold on Sela. Like that. And now we can do this fight in 3 Phantom Spheres. And so that's hopefully what I'll be able to do. It's a little bit tight, but it should be possible.
Also, can we talk about how Sela tells Link to look at the top screen? In universe, do you realize how awkward that's gotta be? If she were to directly say that, it's like, what's a screen? What do you mean? Also, if I'm right, Horn is gonna be looking to get a specific spin spot here to be hitting the armor to reset that counter on his Dizzy.
I can't. I don't think I can 3-cycle anymore.
Yeah, I gotta go forward.
Yeah, unfortunately, if Bellum opens its eye right as Bellum Beck starts doing one of those like slashing attacks, it moves after it gets hit. Oops, that was. Oh, yeah, it's a little unfortunate what happened there. Anyways, this attack you can't really avoid. You kind of just have to wait for it to be over.
Well, you can dodge around it. It's possible to do that without taking damage.
Yeah, you can dodge, but.
What I like to do in casuals, I'll take that attack head on with my own spin. I just think it's so
time is going to be coming up right away here. Once I do the last few hits on Bellum, so get ready on time. Hopefully whoever's manning time can hear that.
You want us both to shout it? Me and you both.
Time.
What a good run. Good job, Horn. That was amazing.
That was a little unfortunate with the extra death there, and on Bellum's ship that would have been a lot better without that, but...
You did it. You finished your full run. How does it feel?
Not too bad, I guess, yeah. I was hoping I would do a little better than that, but that's okay. I'm glad the tricks the new tricks went all pretty well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got to show off all of them, which is really nice.
Chat's all set up there. Congratulations to you.
Oh, thank you, everybody. Yeah, no, that was a fun run. And I golded a lot of splits there, especially towards the end game there. I had a nice segment between entering Muto's temple and finishing Goron temple where I golded every split, so that was really good. But yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. Overall, I'd say you did a pretty darn good job for a marathon, despite the bad RNG that came up. And I was glad to sit here and commentate for you.
Yeah, thanks for being here. It was nice having someone else commentate.
You bet. You might have just gotten me into running Phantom Hourglass. Once I take
really
Spirit Tracks Wrecky from Jazzix. I do gotta say, chat, you just watched Hornlitz, a new champ in the making. I bet money that one day y'all get to watch Horn take the Phantom Hourglass world record.
I've held it before, back in 2016 to 2018.
Okay, that was 5 years ago.
That was a while back, so I'm hoping to be able to do it again.
I'm sure you got this.
Alrighty then. Whoa. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, my mic was a little weird. But I'm here now. Sorry for the quick delay or for the short delay. Thank you so much, Horn and Kiefer, for doing it. We're good for Phantom Hourglass and for the first night of ZSRM. By now, for me at least, it's day again. Wonderful indeed. And with that, we go into a quick break, and we're going to be back in a little bit with more action and The Legend of Zelda 80%. Stay tuned.
It is almost 2